Hey, Tracy. You're going to watch the replay? Okay. Sorry, we got stuck on the other one. But I just couldn't stop that. Okay. Go over here to this live. And fix these. Okay. And I know that I linked, hopefully if you were waiting for this one, you checked out the video description and you checked out the video that's linked in there from Iain Lee, because it's a short video. It's under 5 minutes. You really should watch it so you understand that Iain Lee was so threatened by Alex that he couldn't even confront him in court. So he is thanking all the people that did, and now Alex is away for 5.5 years. But if you listen to him in his own words of what he says, I'm going to also read another person that was involved in this suit, and he put his words out there on Twitter. And I'm going to read to you what he says about how this Alex Belfield terrorized his life. Let me just go in there and get this. There's a couple of things I want to read in here. And there's also something from Jeremy Vine. Saying that an interview with Jeremy Vine, and it's done by the Times, and it says, "My stalker thrived on hate. I'm drained." So a YouTuber has been jailed for 5.5 years after terrorizing the Radio 2 DJ. Rosamund Irwin hears how he came face to face with his harasser. For Jeremy Vine, the worst part of his stalking ordeal was telling his teenage daughters that they needed to be careful leaving the house. So he did. He told they actually had a picture of Alex Belfield that they put in their like foyer so that they would know what the heck he looked like if he came to the door, because this man was worried about his daughters seeing Alex coming up there and them not knowing who it was. And he thought that maybe not even Alex, but one of these 360,000 followers, these subscribers that he has on YouTube that had been incited with hate, would possibly show up with knife or acid or something like that, right? Because he had an army of trolls behind him. Because he's a coward, Belfield was never going to come to my house himself, but my fear was that somebody incited with hate by him would come and attack me or my children because of all that hate he was engendering against me. My youngest daughter was 13 then, and she burst into tears when I told her that there may be somebody that wants to hurt her. He doesn't even know my daughter's name, but she's one of his victims. And it took her a year, he said, before she had confidence to leave the house. So now, like I said, he is in prison, Belfield, for 5.5 years. I did check out his channel today. Now, YouTube still has his channel up, which is something that these people are saying this is ridiculous. YouTube has not responded to this and should take his channel down. And that's what they're saying. They're saying, look what this sentence is. This guy's away for 5.5 years. But he made a video 4 days ago. Belfield did. And it's up there, along with his other videos. Let's see. Belfield is not a conventional stalker. He only prowled online. The prosecution's case was that he harassed his victims by making scores of slanderous videos, posting his abuse on Twitter, and sending bullying emails. And Jeremy Vine described it during the trial as Olympic-level stalking. He said that Belfield took all the toxins and put them in a syringe, and he made it poisonous. While he was tormenting his victims with online abuse, Belfield had 9 employees and was estimated to be making £528,000 a year from his YouTube channel, The Voice of Reason. Now, it said Google has now stopped his channel carrying advertising, so they're supposedly demonetized his YouTube channel, but his YouTube channel is still up. It carried nasty and sometimes misogynistic, racist, or homophobic content, but he also interviewed famous names such as Nigel Farage, the former UKIP leader, and had defenders including Tory MP Andrew Bridgen and the Home Secretary Priti Patel last year about Belfield's treatment. Last week, Belfield, by then a convicted stalker, performed alongside the right-wing Kate Hopkins at the Joe Longthorne Theater in Blackpool at a gig entitled Two Gobshites Live, which promised to be not PC but totally LOL. So yeah, they put this thing, and that was right before, that's after he's convicted, before he was sentenced. Let's see. And they said Jeremy became aware of Belfield in 2019 when he was alerted to Belfield abusing him in videos. I had never heard his name before, and it said Jeremy Vine and Victoria Derbyshire are complete. See you next Tuesdays. You used to rough and tumble on social media, so I didn't think any more of it, said Jeremy Vine, but I tweeted a photo and said something like, who on earth is this guy? And a fellow BBC presenter, Stephen Nolan, immediately messaged Jeremy advising him, take the post down because you don't know what this guy is capable of. And he took it down, but it was too late. Belfield already saw it. And he said, I'm assuming he's like a pilot in the front of an airliner, Jeremy said. He's got 8 screens up to monitor all of his enemies simultaneously. The message was up for 2 minutes, but it was enough for him to realize I've got a little bite on the line. And then he opened up with the abuse. And that's what this Iain Lee says in his thing. He was scared, and early on he had posted something and it had caught his attention, and he took it down and he apologized, but Belfield never let it go. And that's what you couldn't. Once you got his attention, he wouldn't stop. No matter if you ignored him, no matter what you did, he just didn't stop. So Vine spoke with the BBC, and their initial advice was block and ignore. And you see, this ignoring, blocking, deleting emails was what the BBC told 4 other women that were being abused by Belfield. And because they deleted all of these emails, and it was over a 10-year period, when they went to court this summer, these women could not present a bunch of emails. And even though the judge said, I believe their stories and I believe they were abused by Belfield, the jury didn't have that much evidence about it. So they didn't get the justice they deserved, even according to the judge, because they were told to delete those emails. So BBC says block and ignore. And I think that approach is outdated. And I believe it too. That's what we're all taught. Just ignore these trolls. And what happens is they want your attention so bad, and they get more outrageous and more outrageous and more outrageous. And we're just told, just take it, just ignore them, suffocate them. Don't let them have any, anything. And it's wrong. There just needs to be laws, and they need to be prosecuted is what happens. Because Jeremy said it doesn't work. He spoke to a colleague who told him the story of Belfield's behavior at BBC Leeds. And then he started to realize this guy is like industrial level. He caused me a lot of trouble, but he caused more trouble for those in Leeds. Belfield worked at that station between 2010 and 2011. He was briefly suspended after he told a weather forecaster that he would watch her naked on his leather sofa, and then his contract was not renewed. Some ex-colleagues believe this was the trigger for his trolling, but say his behavior was unacceptable even before that. Now, Liz Green, she's one of the women that did come forward in this suit, but again was told to delete those emails. And she recalls him being rude to the late gardening expert, Joe Maiden. That organization started to refuse to put people up for interview that made a young female staff member cry and asked an older female guest the color of her knickers. After he left, Green became one of his early online targets, and he was cleared of stalking her, again, because she just didn't have the evidence that she should have. I spent years appealing for help. I still live in fear of what these people did, what his fans might do. It made me suicidal. In June of 2020, she wrote to the Director General, Lord Hall, who intervened. The BBC then started to collect statements. By then, Jeremy Vine had endured 8 months of abuse and went to police. He is tough. During the pandemic, anti-vax protesters delivered a lawsuit to his house, which he shrugs off as almost comedic. And he had a female stalker before who would follow him home. That was upsetting. But it was all a picnic compared to dealing with Alex Benfield, because in the end, the interception by the police was quite straightforward, and then it was done. Whereas with Belfield, it was coming from so many different angles. I don't know how many entails he sent to my house, to my boss about me, or was he sending emails he was sending posing as me. Vine's TV license was canceled. He believes, although he can't prove it, that it was because of Belfield or one of his fans. And the cruelest lie was that he spread that Jeremy Vine had stolen £1,000 from a charity. And Vine's friend, the radio executive John Myers, died in 2019, and there was a collection for a memorial service for him. Jeremy donated £500, and money left over was presented to Myers' widow to donate to the Northern Head and Neck Cancer Charity in early 2020. You can't think there's anything untoward there, said Jeremy Vine, but somehow Alex created a story that I stole £1,000 from my friend's memorial service, and says it again and again, and then people start to believe it. And we see this all over, right? Okay? I have someone saying that I took money that was donated for a cricket for them. That's not true. But you say it over and over, and we're told to ignore it. Oh, just ignore it. They're insignificant. But then people believe it. And that's where it's so crazy. Like, no, it's not. What they're saying is slanderous, and they need to be held accountable. They have no proof, but she's saying I stole her money, that they were collecting on this forum without my knowledge or permission. Let's remember that, but that I stole it. And then think there's no repercussions for that. And no repercussions for saying that I went into somewhere and they know for a fact that I questioned their credentials, and that I went into somewhere and said that someone is balding and that's me, and stated as a fact in order to incite hate against someone, and that's wrong. And in this case, it's criminal, and it should be. So let's see. A source who knows Belfield said that Belfield was disgruntled that he hadn't been invited to Myers' memorial, and he kept asking Jeremy, where's the £1,000 you stole? And he had people call into Jeremy's show and shout at him where it is, okay? And shout at him while he's cycling. Isn't that the same kind of thing when the trolls come in here and ask stupid questions about things that are lies, right? And when they follow you to resorts where your family's vacationing, and then call and harass the resort and pretend that they're staying there and they're having altercations with you in order to get someone to throw you out of the resort or to ruin your family's time or do something like that. And that is all criminal. On YouTube videos, we're getting 500,000 views. It's that wacky people watching it like watching a car crash. I lost sleep over it. These people want to get in your head, and in the end, you end up thinking, how did I deserve this? I just collided with this ball of hatred. If you bump into someone in the street and they stab you, Belfield seemed, what did I say here? I'll spend 24 hours a day fighting Belfield. It might have been an even match, but none of us had the time. So while we did our jobs and were with our families, he was just uploading manure constantly. And that's true. They don't have the lives that the people that they're attacking do. So anytime you're out with your family and you're doing something, you're going on with your life, all they're doing is on a channel uploading hate. And that's all they do. He believes Belfield created a factory of hate in a similar, if less successful vein to Alex Jones, who's on trial now. And so a lot of this stuff is really finally, okay, Alex Jones is convicted. The trial now is to decide how much compensation to give to the victims. It's not a matter of if he's guilty of what he did. He is. It's just a matter of the compensation. Belfield is convicted and was sentenced 5.5 years. He's away. These people have a huge weight off of them. That's why I want you to watch the video that's linked. And you can see exactly the havoc that they wreak on someone's lives. So there are a lot of people out there who are angry and will troll. And that's true. These people are disgruntled with their own lives. They're miserable people. And they just want to troll on anyone that has anything that they want. Do they have a family? Do they have a life? Do they have a nice house? Do they go away? Do they do anything? Are they talented? Do they have a better personality? Are they whatever? Have something that they covet, and they will unleash all that hatred. And it doesn't matter. It's just there's so much hatred, and in some cases it comes from also them being connected to something else that they hate too. And I can go into that later on another time. So they said that if you take that hatred, you focus it, you pump it up, the power of it is incredible. I've had between 5,000 and 10,000 abusive messages caused by Belfield on Twitter and Facebook, and every other message was, "Where's the 1,000 pounds?" Jeremy was even asked by a BBC press officer to respond to the request for details under the Freedom of Information laws about the fabricated theft. Sources within the BBC are critical of how the corporation handled Belfield, saying that they downplayed, and this is true, concerns and complaints for a decade. And many places do. And they tell, oh, just ignore it, ignore it. But you don't realize, because we haven't ever had anything like this. So we don't know, good night, Earthbound, about all this hate that's incited and all these people that are trying to please their leader, what they're capable of. And that's the danger. And that's why you say until somebody gets really hurt, the laws aren't going to change. But thank goodness, this had a victory. And this is a precedent that's been set that we can all point to. Because on YouTube, a lot of these people reside. Maybe we're in the United States, but these people attacking us are in the UK and they're in Australia, and they have different laws over there. And this case was decided in the UK. So that's all great news. So they said that the BBC did not handle this right for over a decade. It was repeatedly raised with the BBC that he was making videos about me. And I was told it was just crap on the internet. How many times have we heard that? Just crap on the internet. Don't pay them any mind. They're nothing. They're nobody. I'm grateful to Jeremy, who has been very brave, but it was only really acknowledged as a problem by the BBC when it involved one of their stars. We were the warm-up act by the time Belfield got to Jeremy. He became a master in weaponizing the internet. So that's somebody that was, who's really thanking Jeremy, because that's the only time they feel that when it hits somebody of a, high caliber there, that they paid any attention. The case was heard at the Nottingham Crown Court for 5 weeks this summer, and Belfield represented himself. So the court appointed a barrister to cross-examine the witnesses. However, the barrister caught the COVID, so Vine ended up being questioned by the man who had marred his life. So he got questioned by Belfield. The first time Jeremy had met Belfield, he said, "You're not supposed to be questioned directly in cases of stalking. But I'd gone up to Nottingham and was sitting there. The only way I can move this thing forward was to be questioned by him, and I think he gets off on it." Belfield's first question to Jeremy was asking him to define the word "see you next Tuesday." Jeremy Vine thought the court would be packed with Belfield's followers, but only 3 older women were sitting behind him. And every time I spoke, they would huff and puff to the point where it was really off-putting, but it made me wonder if his followers may drift away, and that's where he gets his strength from. Jeremy was moved to tears in court, and he mentioned his father who died 4 years ago. It made it look like Belfield had broken me, but actually it's because I put up a tribute on Facebook to my dad, and the first comment was, "What if your father had known his son was a thieving tow rag?" And it just brought back all of that. He was around the corner in Gray. How do you know the police? Okay. So Belfield was found guilty of the basic stalking of Vine and of theater blogger Philip Dehaney, that was another one, and of causing serious harm to Northampton BBC radio presenter Bernie Keith, also known as well as well-known videographer Ben Hewis. Keith contemplated self-harm after Belfield tried to ruin his reputation, and one of Belfield's videos about Hewis included one in which his toddler son's face had the word liar stamped across it. So they're not above using your kids, and I know that well because my minor children are used in videos and they wouldn't take them down even when they're told. And that's something that YouTube has to come to terms with, and they will. He was cleared of the stalking the 4 women, and that's because, again, they were told to get rid of all of that stuff, and that was wrong. BBC handled that wrong. Let's see here. Now, if you listen to the video that's linked in here, they say that, he's just as smug as ever, and that they don't expect him to be contrite or apologize in prison, and maybe he'll end up staying even longer because of that. So now I want to read to you on Twitter, hold on a minute, get this one here, because he put up in his own words. I just want to put this down here. Okay, that's who it is. All right. Okay. Okay. And so I'm just going to read you some things from Twitter here. This is not about free speech, but criminal stalking and harassment by Belfield. So nothing about it is free speech. Okay, and Jeremy Vine tweeted, "Read this if you're wondering why Alex Belfield just got 5+ years in jail. And this is only one of his 8 victims." And it's by Ben Hewis, September 16th. And he says, "Today Alex Belfield has been sentenced to 5 years, 26 weeks in prison for his stalking myself and 7 others. I'm thrilled justice has been served and excited to move on with the rest of my life. For anyone interested in what I was subjected to, below is my victim personal statement." Okay, so let me go here. And he said, "Since first encountering Alex Belfield in 2019, not a day has gone by without me losing countless waking and sleeping hours, terrified about what he might do next to target me and my family. For almost 3 years, I've been subjected to the most painfully personal attacks. Belfield has waged a relentless, multi-pronged intimidation and harassment campaign that has left me psychologically and emotionally drained of the vim and vigor that defined my character before. I had the misfortune of coming across him. Where I was once optimistic and motivated, I am now more often the opposite. I worry that this will take a long time to prepare. I know I won't be the same person I once was. The utmost important thing in my life is my family, and Alex Belfield knew this. From his very first email, and in the majority of communications thereafter, he used my wife and children as his main weapon to terrify, intimidate, and blackmail me. In almost 100 emails, he threatened me with rising court costs which now appear to have been fabricated to alarm and blackmail me, since no evidence has been provided that any legal action was ever taken. He regularly told me I'd lose my family home. Sound familiar? On multiple occasions, said that he hired solicitors or private investigators to find out where I live. Living in fear of this on a daily basis had an enormous strain on my family life. For most of my wife's pregnancy with our second child, I was withdrawn and vacant, a time when I was supposed to be joyous and it was supposed to be exciting. It was stolen from me by Belfield. In multiple videos published on his YouTube channel, he stole my family photos and used them alongside his vile rants and assaults on my character, calling me a bad parent for not giving into his intimidation, for promising to hound me for the rest of my life. In one video, he wrote "liar" across my 2-year-old son's face and used that as a thumbnail on a video that's been seen by hundreds of thousands of people. The photos he used were some of the happiest moments of my life: my son's christening, our first family holiday. Now they will forever be tainted by his abuse. If he wanted to illustrate his videos with pictures of me, there are hundreds available of me on my own, but he chose ones that featured my family, knowing full well the devastating effects this would have on me. It also meant that I had to keep watching the videos in order to make specific time-stamped complaints to YouTube to have them taken down. The emotional and psychological damage this all had on me is profound, and I am seeking therapy to help me move on and begin to heal. I followed the advice of platforms and government organizations to block and report trolls, but all this did was lock myself away and leave my family and business vulnerable to further attacks. Absolutely. Blocking was also a futile exercise, as Belfield continued to seek out new ways to get to me when others failed. When blocked on Twitter, he used other accounts to see what I was tweeting and routinely publicly mocked me to his social media followers, posting screen grabs he could only have obtained by using an account that I hadn't blocked. He also regularly asked his followers to contact me, which they did, sending threatening tweets on multiple occasions, and as his subscribers have grown, this has become increasingly worrying. Everywhere I go, I fear the confrontations with people he's lied to about me. One of the most distressing moments in the last 3 years was when Belfield attempted to contact my wife on Facebook. My wife being pregnant at the time of Belfield's harassment, I chose not to tell her, as I feared the huge stress caused by Belfield's harassment could lead to complications in the pregnancy or even a miscarriage. Belfield knew my wife was pregnant and chose to contact her on Facebook with his lies and intimidation tactics, attaching an image of the baby scan, willful and without fear of consequences, putting her in grave danger. He may not have physically come near us, but his actions could easily have caused severe physical harm. When he wasn't targeting my family, he was going for my business in an attempt to destroy my means of income. On many occasions, he tweeted lies to my clients, telling them I'd avoided contact from the police and was perverting the course of justice, painting me out as a liar and a criminal to people I've spent years developing a relationship with. Yeah, like the screenshots of them contacting sponsors and going after people I have relationships with to try to undermine that. Absolutely. So much time was spent contacting clients and friends, pleading with them not to pay him any attention. Google search results for my name still to this day come up with defamatory articles on his website, which he has said has hundreds of thousands of views. Filled with lies in an attempt to make him out to be my victim, internet search referrals are a big part of my new business, so this particularly cost me tens of thousands of pounds in lost business revenue. In the prosecution's opening statement, it was said that Belfield's crime was more akin to online trolling than physical stalking. I think this takes something away from the harm that has been caused to me and to the other 7 victims, as well as Belfield's countless other victims. They are too afraid to come forward. With the proliferation on social media, the internet is no longer a collection of documents on a series of computers. It's a place where people make friends and they carry out business and they learn new skills and they share their happiest and saddest moments. It is where all corners of life come together. Therefore, online stalking and harassment in today's world has the ability to cause the same, if not greater, harm and consequences as physically stalking someone in person. Online, he was able to contact me at any time of the day via multiple platforms that seemingly hold no accountability for the behavior of their users. Online, he was able to build a mob of followers and instruct them to also harass me, many anonymously. Online, he was able to come at me from multiple angles without ever lifting more than a finger on his keyboard. Online, he still caused me to have panic attacks. Online, he still made me feel isolated, racked with guilt and fear and pain. Online, he still could have caused my wife to miscarry. And because of his claims that he is a journalist, despite many times prior to the trial saying he has never been one and would never want to be one, online, he was able to carry on intimidating his victims throughout the trial. With biased and unfair court reporting that aimed to portray us as inept attention seekers to his 500,000 followers. So please don't look at this as only emails or only tweets or only vlogs on YouTube. Just because Alex isn't a knife-wielding attacker on the street doesn't mean that he hasn't caused his victims a multitude of life-changing psychological injuries. I like to think of myself as a forgiving person. You have to be with 2 young children who constantly throw stuff at you and call you names. But could I forgive Alex Benfield for what he has done to us? No, never. Largely because after hearing the hell he has made our lives for so long, he continues to show absolutely no remorse, which leads me to believe that he will continue doing this to many more people. So, if you read some of the, and then they're still getting attacked in the comments. You know, some are saying, sorry for what you went through. But this guy says, I do think that's an excessive sentence, though. Really? I wonder what he does to people. Then someone says, this is awful to read. Why did he target you? So why did he attack you? What was the reason for the trolling? See, they act like, okay, well, you You must have done something to deserve this, right? Had you offended or upset him in some way? Just keep on. Some people are as bad as Belfield on here, devoid of humanity and decency. Hope all victims can rebuild their lives fully if possible. The sentence is not too long because lesser sentences were given for heinous crimes. They were too lenient. What a disgusting, vile human being this man is. I don't know the other side of the story to make a comment on this. I need to know why he behaved in such a way that he has. You could not just make a comment. The world will find a way to cope without the opinions of first name, bunch of numbers. Hi, Ben. Thank you so much for posting this statement. I am a criminology lecturer and teach a module on cybercrime. Would you be happy for me to use this victim statement in my sessions on cyber stalking, please? Absolutely thrilled for you. Don't know you personally, but have followed and had unfortunate interactions with Belfield myself. I'm so sorry for what you went through, but applaud you for plowing on through, seeing he got what he deserved. Someone said, I've seen a lot of people shocked by the length of the sentence Belfield received. What Ben Lewis has been through and others, Belfield received the correct sentence. There's bitter and twisted, and then there's Alex Benfield. He's on another level. Somebody put, is Twitter the place for this? Belfield has a family as well, or doesn't that matter? He's guilty. They're all guilty. It's hysterical that you can just see the people that are following him and oh my gosh. I watched your live and your real tears when the news broke and he got 5 years, so he's clearly messed with your mind to make you this upset. What I can't ascertain yet is what provoked him to pick on you for such a long period of time. There must be a reason. You see this? It's just, there's got to be a reason. You've got to be a horrible person. That's why he did it. Really pleased you got justice. A happy day for all decent people. Good luck to you. I always knew there was something off about him, but geez, that was an intense read. May your journey of inner healing make you whole again, with more strength, peace, and clarity of mind. Good luck to you. He's a vile man, a vile little man. Prison is the best place for him. Please don't listen to the haters on here. You have clearly gone through a terrible experience. I hope that none of the people saying it's nothing never have to experience anything like it themselves. Exactly. Please take the time to heal and have a wonderful life. I'm sorry this happened to you and your family, Ben. Such hard words to read, and hopefully this brings you some justice. Terrific what you have been through. Hopefully you can now feel safe for the time he's locked up, and I sincerely hope he'll be restricted to what he can do when he gets out. YouTube should have shut him down. Disgraceful that they didn't. And what they did, they got these restraining orders even on the people that didn't have the emails that are very good, and he is not allowed to contact them in any way, direct or indirect. Hold on one second. I just want to get it. Someone just posted in here and said, Alex Benfield harassed me for weeks for calling him out about being racist. got his followers to harass me about my body and my weight. He tried to find out personal information about my life and even mocked my nan who passed away. So all I can say is get effed. Hashtag Alex Belfield. Let's see. Reflecting on today's. Okay, here's Philip. Here's Philip Dehaney's words. Okay, reflecting on today's outcome, and he said, "Thank you to everyone who has sent messages of kindness and support. I was one of the 8 courageous people who stood up to Alex Belfield on behalf of many, many other victims. Although the verdict was divided and 4 of us were overlooked, we stood together. Today's sentencing is a victory for all of us, especially the 4 incredible women who endured a decade of persecution and bullying. I want to thank DC Janet Percival for listening to us. I also want to thank John McGinnis, Casey, for his sterling work and care, and Mr. Justice Sayini for recognizing us all and giving us the outcome we needed. The judge also mentioned my mom, who stood up for me when Belfield dragged her into this mess, and he said everyone should have a mom like yours. This was always going to be a difficult conviction to uphold. It relied on the definition of stalking to recognize social media as a new and dangerous tool. I am grateful to the jury for recognizing this and for finding Alex Belfield accountable for his behavior. I now look to platforms including YouTube and Twitter to acknowledge their responsibility to protect the countless victims, including myself, from individuals like Alex Belfield who use and profit from these tools, misusing the right of free speech to persecute and harass others." Again, that was Philip Dehaney. Let's see. Someone said you should all be calling for Alex Belfield's channel to be terminated for breaking YouTube's terms of service. This user has been jailed for 5.5 years for stalking people using YouTube to do it on behalf of decent YouTubers. So someone said, Craig Beck said, I once employed this man, meaning Alex Belfield. I was stopped from doing so by my boss at the time, John Simmons. He said over my dead body, that guy is pure poison. Hashtag Alex Belfield. Someone said, it's funny how those who bang on about free speech generally only want to speak freely about vile, hateful bilge. Anyway, all's well that ends well. Hashtag Alex Belfield. Someone said, I think 5 years and 26 weeks is wholly, this one, okay, this is one that says inappropriate, right? Sentence for Alex Belfield. S offenders got less. Alex should have received a suspended sentence given his previous character. I see the police are now holding hands with the, okay. See, there's always going to be his followers. It's crazy. AJ Patterson says stalking is a horrific crime. The psychological impact is devastating. Online abuse and stalking is so prevalent. Working in domestic abuse, a letter, an email, a text, and contact from abusers' family and friends are just as impactful. Lots of solidarity. Hashtag Alex Belfield. The truth will always out and justice will be served. People have suffered much worse than my run-in with Alex Belfield, and I admire and praise their courage for pursuing and seeing it through. Alex Belfield, good riddance, a con man, a stalker, and an extremist taken down by the law. Enjoy your 5 years, Mr. Belfield. Jeremy Vine said, I see the gibbering little army of Alex Belfield trolls are flailing around today, attacking the judge, the jury, the victims. Belfield uses the sticks and stones defense, and it failed. Watch this by Iain Lee if you think words don't cause real harm. And that's the video that's linked in here, which is called Convicted Stalker Alex Belfield Tried to Ruin My Life. It said more and more victims of Alex Belfield celebrity radio are emerging. Here's a horrifying story about how he impacted a young actor's life. Thank you for speaking out. And let's see. Said below is an email I got during my time on a show. Everything had been going really good, and I was enjoying my time there. I did an interview at our first UK venue, which was quite odd. The interviewer made inappropriate comments throughout about my looks and life choices. And this is Aaron Sidewell tweeting. Being an actor, you're taught to shut up and just get on with things, so I did. A few weeks later, I got an email from my agent. The interviewer had lied about me to the company manager. The producers, rather than talk to me and get my side, just sent the below email, withdrawing me from any further press activity, and this caused a huge rift between myself and the producers of the show, who I was sent to work with for a further 11 months. Needless to say, I didn't enjoy the remainder of the time. I felt very upset at the way I'd been treated. I've been doing interviews regularly for over 10 years and had never received any kind of negative feedback. The journalist in question was Alex Belfield. Today he was sentenced to over 5 years for stalking and harassment, fabricating lies about people for nearly a decade. I wonder if I'll get an apology from the producers. So, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy good. And the actual thing that we read last night from the court, where the judge goes on and on about just how horrible this is, that's the precedent that's going to be used. And just like when somebody comes forward and then another person comes, there's going to be so many people coming forward, not just about Belfield, but coming forward about their attacks, and people, this is going to be taken much more seriously, and it's opened the way for class action suits against YouTube and all of that because he is sentenced, because the judge said what he did in the legal documents. And those legal documents have already been sent to people's counsel. I know that for a fact. Now, let me go back in here. Put Iain Lee for a second. Okay, so here's something that Iain Lee retweeted by Ben Hewis 20 hours ago, and says, what is terrifying about this case is how little social media companies are required to do to stop the platforms being used as a weapon. And Christy Strickland says, how many Alex Belfields will use the internet as a weapon before social media? Let's see what she said here. Let's see what she wrote here. Before social media platforms step in. And I think that's what everybody wants to know, right? Yes. So she says, last week, former BBC radio presenter was jailed for 5.5 years, found guilty of stalking. Alex Benfield stalked and harassed 4 people online, targeting them with emails, social media messages, and abusive YouTube videos he was convicted of. He stalked many, many more, including the other 4 women that were there that just didn't have enough evidence because the BBC told them to delete the emails. He was originally charged with stalking 8 different people, some of whom he knew from his time working at the BBC. One of Belfield's victims was BBC Radio Northampton presenter Bernard Spedding, who he harassed for 9 years. In court, the judge told Belfield that at one point Mr. Spedding was seconds away from taking his own life as a result of it. Let me see if I can put this. Let's put this over here because this is... Who is the columnist over here? Christy Strickland. Belfield was found guilty of simple stalking of presenter Jeremy Vine, who he falsely claimed had stolen £1,000 of BBC license fees, payers' money. Some of the victims have spoken out about the impact that Belfield had on their lives, and some were afraid to leave the house in case they were physically harmed by his supporters, and they also spoke about the emotional toll of being targeted and followed around every corner of the internet. The judge remarked that Alex Benfield has weaponized the internet and that his pattern of behavior was not typical of what we usually think of stalking, but it was no less harmful for the fact that it was conducted online. Through his huge platform, he had the power to direct or encourage the abuse and harassment of his victims. It's becoming a worrying trend on social media. Accounts with a large number of followers have a massive amount of influence and power, and some use that power to harm others. It shouldn't be a great surprise. Social media is an increasingly angry and combative place to be these days. But the hosts of those platforms should be required to intervene when their product is being used for nefarious reasons. Absolutely. Since the verdict, Jeremy Vine has spoken about his frustrations with social media companies, saying they have no moral values. We agree. Social media can bring people together in a positive way, but the structures and protections that should be in place to protect those users aren't fit for purpose. So let's see here. We are all responsible for how we conduct ourselves, both in person and online, but social media platforms thrive on division. Their algorithm rewards the worst impulses of the human psyche. They created the monster, and it's about time they helped rein it in. Yes. Okay, so let's Hey, Rubbity Bob. Yes, so I mean, let me put this on. What, did any of you watch that video? I'm going to put this on here. And see if did anybody have any chance to watch the video of that man and how he was terrorized? And he was too scared to even take part in this lawsuit. So he was thanking people that, I mean, when you see the impact, and these are professional broadcasters, you can imagine what it does to people that are not backed by the BBC or something like that, right?
Right.
Hi, Rubbity Bob. Oh my gosh. Look who's here.
Mm-hmm.
Iain Lee, would you mind calling in and just if you emailed me, would you talk to us a little bit about this? Because I've been going through this, as I wrote on your wall, for almost 4 years. And as you guys say, YouTube, not only myself, But the Rusak family, I'm not sure if you know who they are. They're the parents of Shanann Watts Rusak, who was murdered by her husband, and every day they are subjected to their son, photos of him being distributed, just horrible things sent about their mental health. It's just horrible, and it's not only that. It's Bianca Devins' family, Kim Devins. She's been going through the same stuff. Oh, you have a show at 7? Well, maybe sometime. I appreciate you coming here. And it's Iain, right? Because I think yesterday I thought your name was Lane, but it's Iain, right? It's just okay. I wasn't used to that spelling, and I'm sorry for mispronouncing it yesterday. Oh, thank you. You guys have done so much by putting this out, because this is a precedent that we can point to, and you don't know how much you've helped. I appreciate it so much, and I would definitely love to talk to you guys, and anything I can do to spread the word for everybody, because there's so many people that are being harassed and threatened. And again, the same thing is just ignore it, it'll go away. Oh, they're smearing you to yet, or you're scared. Do you know they followed my family to a water park where we were going with our sons, and they called the front desk and pretended they were there and said they were having altercations with me. Can you believe this? And tried to get me thrown out. Well, they didn't have that happen, but afterwards it was crazy. How can I email you to pass? If you put an exclamation in email, that Nightbot will, there he goes. Thank you. Lark's putting it there. So Nightbot has just left the email for me. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you there are, it's just, I was so unbelievably happy to read everything from the judge yesterday that we did. And I passed that on to other families that are being harassed. And they are overjoyed to have that too, and have sent that on. And it's a wonderful thing, because these people think, oh, it's nothing. Like you said, he says sticks and stones, right? It's nothing. And I'll tell you, like, you guys being professional broadcasters and having a hard time with this really makes an impression on how, we're having to deal with this and what's happening. And when people say, oh, don't worry about it, yeah, you don't know how this impacts your life. It's not happening to a lot of other people that are just telling you to ignore it. Now, every time I go to a resort or I go anywhere, I have to tell these people, I have all of these trolls following me, and you're going to get calls, and you're going to get this, and you're going to get that. Hi, Christina. Hi, Nicole. Tammy. And even though I'm in the USA, a lot of the people that are attacking are in the UK, and that's the thing too. And you guys seem to be leading with your laws on this more than the US is right now. Some of these people waiting room. Gail in the waiting room. People went to sleep. And I do have your video linked, and I'm going to link the rest of the Twitter accounts and Jeremy's article and all of that stuff, so everybody can read it and understand the impact. And already you see the trolls that are there and trying to say, oh yeah, it's nothing, unless it's happening to them. And all of the people that wanted to say, oh, it's just the internet, it's not real life. I love those people. It's not real life. The only people that say that are people that want to do nefarious things, that they say it's not real life. So I don't know why it would bother them. They have no conscience. Okay, I appreciate that so much, Iain. I am so appreciative, and I will look forward to your email. Thank you so much for stopping by. But yeah, so what did anybody else watch Iain's video? I know some of you were in Zoom when I showed it earlier. I think the problem is, I think the ones that saw it are now asleep because they're in the UK. I think Katz is asleep. Sharon, did you get to see it?
I didn't. My internet was out. It came back, I don't know, a little over an hour ago,
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah. Tammy says, people that this is happening to, like Carolyn, it has such a devastating impact on them, their families, friends, relationships. It's sickening what these people can get away with. Yeah, it is. And it does.
Carolyn, you know that's a real person.
Who?
The one who just
Iain, because he's got a YouTube channel that's whose video is linked in there.
I know, but how do you know it's really him?
Because we can go to his channel and see that it is. We as moderators can click on his
How do you
thing.
know that he showed up in the chat? That he really showed up in the
Sharon, listen. You can click
Okay.
look, you can click on the three dots and it'll say go to channel, and you can see it's his channel.
That's not the person you were talking to? I'm confused.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It is the person Carolyn was talking to,
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to know.
the owner of the channel.
Okay, but how do we know that?
Because if you click on the three dots and it says go to channel owner, and you click on that, it will take you to
His channel.
whoever owns that channel that's in the chat, and it comes up with him on his channel. Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably a notification where his name comes up, you know?
Yeah,
So he wants to know when his name comes up, and here you are, you know, supporting him completely, and he's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
no, I
I'm
don't.
glad it came in.
He's happy that we're doing this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
Yeah,
glad
he
it
said
came
you're
in.
doing an important thing, Sharon.
right.
Okay.
But you mentioned.
I mentioned, yes, I mentioned his name, and I put his video in the video description.
Right, and so he probably has some kind of filter that said that it came up. So he went to look. And
Right.
here he came across a
Yes.
good person.
Yes.
That's what I'm.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes. I thought you were okay. Yes, I wasn't understanding
Right.
you at first. Okay. Yeah.
It took me a second to get there, okay?
Yeah. No, I'm very happy that he saw that and came in, and I'm very happy that he's going to be emailing, and it's a good thing. Very
Yeah.
good thing.
I agree. I'm glad it came in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. And hopefully, connect up. Always power in numbers, and
Oh, yeah.
Precedent, and they can offer a lot of advice and what we can do, and to get this done, because that guy still has a channel, and they're trying to say, how can he have a channel? He's been sentenced. How does YouTube not, get with the program and see this? and allows their platform to abuse people. So you took away his monetization, okay, but it's okay if he's, and even when they take away monetization from the person, you'll find there's still ads on their videos, and that means that YouTube is monetizing those videos.
Oh,
Right.
So that makes zero sense.
so YouTube's still
This
making
just-
money from,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Right.
absolutely, and getting people to the forum, and sure, and then there's ads on the pages that they have, even if they're watching a channel and that channel's not monetized, YouTube has other ads on the pages.
so that's the ads.
That's the AdSense, yeah.
Got it.
So it's crazy.
Hmm.
You can't. Oh, I thought you were sleeping, Nicole. That's why I put you in the other room, because you weren't saying anything. And we looked silly having all these people on and nobody was saying anything. So that's what I do now. I put people in the waiting room if they're not talking.
Oh,
I put you in the waiting room because you weren't talking, Cats.
Everybody's waking up now, Carol.
Yeah, I know. Now they'll start talking when they get put in the waiting room.
Poor Nicole.
Sorry, Cats. If you want to talk, you can come back on, but nobody was talking.
I only spoke because you called my name. You called my
Yeah,
name.
because I thought that you watched that, but
We haven't had an opportunity yet, but I will.
okay, yeah, it's in the video description. You should all really watch it. And your cat had your tongue. I thought so. I thought you guys were sleeping, and then as soon as I put people in the waiting room, they come flying out. So Nicole, did you have a chance to watch it?
Was that what you played earlier?
Yeah, the guy sitting at his desk.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and
Watch
that's
it.
the guy that was in here tonight.
Yeah, oh wow. Oh, that was the same guy? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he came on. And,
Definitely.
maybe sometime he can call and tell his story. Yeah.
He's got an email,
great.
yeah. So that'll be good.
Good. And he, you know what he'll say? He's got a show, and he'll say this has reached the U.S. and they're talking about it in the U.S.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's good.
And I mean, it's validation. It's validation for everything that we're put through as creators. And I'm glad Jeremy Vine said ignoring it doesn't work. And that's the only thing you're told. Ignore it, Even Dr. Phil is telling that to murder victims' families. Oh, just ignore them. Just, and then, yeah, get with the program, Dr. Phil.
No. Sue 'em. Sometimes the only way is if they hit them in the pocketbook. Only way they hear.
Oh, I didn't see anything before you got sent to the naughty corner. I didn't see anything. I was just asking people. I was feeling silly because nobody was answering anything. And I was like, why are all these people on and nobody's speaking? Let's see. I thought everybody fell asleep, so I put everybody in the waiting room that was sleeping.
I was not asleep.
Sure.
I was, and somehow I still got to stay. But I was asleep.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, I was asleep before the show. And I woke up when she was talking about
Hi,
it.
Debbie
So I
L.
don't think I missed much. Yeah.
The other one was really interesting about Adnan, too. I had never read. I'm going to update those links in there later on because I had not read those interviews with,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was interesting.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, I had just started that and the power went out. So
Oh.
whatever time you started it at, that's when, not the power, my internet went out.
Oh, your
I sent
internet.
Nicole a text, she probably didn't get it.
You sent me a text or Nicole?
I sent Nicole a text.
Oh, Nicole. Okay.
Who sent me a text?
I did,
You did?
I did.
Well, I didn't check it. Where did you send me a message? Oh, like on my phone?
Hold on a minute. I just have to get
Wake
something
up,
to eat real
Nicole.
quick. Hold on, right there.
Oh,
I have like 500
Right there.
unread text messages. I gotta get it to that.
Hey, Tammy, I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing better.
What did Jimmy do with all the stuff?
Can you move your arm now, Debbie?
Let me put it this way. I was moving it a little bit and it started burning, so I was like, oh God, I quit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Debbie L. You where the staples are? Oh, it started burning.
Yeah. See, I always tell them when I have surgery, no staples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm losing my mind.
That's my rule.
And this wrapping they did kept sliding down my arm. Was not supposed to undo it, but I did because I had to tighten it and pull it up.
Oh, yeah.
And that didn't feel good either.
No.
Yeah, that didn't feel too great either. So I took a whole pain pill a while ago because, yeah. Thank you,
Yeah, I've
Robin
been
Bob.
sitting here for hours on end, and my back's just crying. So
Oh
I need-
gosh, I'm
you know,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Sharon.
it's all right. I'm just telling you, it's the weather.
Yeah, it's all the rain and it's muggy. It's just like that here.
All the thunder and lightning and all that. I don't mind that, but well, I used to. But anyway,
Is it
Well,
still
you-
storming there?
it was since early evening. It's before that, maybe 4. It's been storming on and off, on and off, on and off. The last one was really loud. So. Anyway.
Mm. So are you going to do surgery again,
Me?
Sharon? Yeah.
Am I gonna do surgery
Or are you
again?
gonna? Yeah, or are you gonna just tough it out?
I keep going back and forth. I can't make up my mind.
Right.
Sorry, guys, I didn't get anything to eat because
I don't feel like I can live with it like this. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah.
to eat something.
Yeah, when it starts affecting everything in your daily life, it's
Everything.
hard to,
Everything.
yeah,
Every.
it's hard to put up with.
Even something as simple as making dinner.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Okay, well, anyway, I think that was like really good news. Kat said, extended period of time would affect their, which begs me to ask the question, money.
Wait, what?
I don't know, I'm trying to catch up because I had to get something to eat. Hi, Julie Gonzalez.
Someone asked you a question. Agnes Milne, I think that's how her name's pronounced. It says, why don't you use the Belfield to make a video informing people of the warning signs with YouTube videos?
She just did it.
Oh, yeah, she means something a little different.
Oh,
Like segments of warning signs with different YouTube videos of people that do things like that. I think that's what
I think the
they
first one
mean.
is when they do it.
Gaan jij de ook mee nooit? Oké.
I'm probably in left field, but I just think that, I'm sorry, my allergies are bad. I'll be quiet.
So it's Agnes that's asking the question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Agnes. I saw through him at the beginning, but so many didn't. Absolutely, Agnes, right? I agree. So people don't see through a lot of people, and they're not a good reader of people, and they believe people, and we've had that right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't want to believe that they do that, but there you go.
If someone presents themselves as, I don't know, sometimes I had an imposter who presented herself as a totally different person, and she had fooled many people in the UK before. That was something crazy. It wasn't harassment like this, but then the people that harass like this, a lot of them start out that they love you, and then for some reason there's a fine line between love and hate, and a lot of times they're people that you could never please. They're too needy. They need you constantly to coddle them, and then when you don't, and you maybe don't answer their email fast enough or something, then they completely flip on you and become just somebody that's so fueled by hate. And that's I think that's most of the time that's how it starts for me anyway. For Alex Belfield, it seems like these people, whatever they said, he was envious and coveted whatever they had. And that happens too. People are jealous and there's a target. I've had other creators, yes, in that vein. And then they say, I'm calling their job or I'm doing this. And they create these big lies to turn people against you. And I had that too. So all those different scenarios.
Come back anytime, Agnes.
Yes, Agnes. What was one of you think? I will think about it, Agnes. Yes, it's a good suggestion. Thank you. Well, come on in, Cats, and spill. I haven't had a chance to read it, but
Hey, Deborah.
hi, Deborah.
You want me to let them in, Carolyn?
Yeah, do you see her trying to come in?
Oh.
I don't see her
No,
trying
she
to come
was in the waiting room. She's not,
I know. I don't know if she knows that she's not.
Go back in, cats.
You're so shy.
We know better.
Hi, Danielle. I'm just off camera because I'm just like starving because I didn't eat anything except a yogurt tonight.
Hey, Danielle.
Oh, look who it is. It's
Gail's
Katrina
up.
King.
Hi, Danielle.
The title is it's the title of it's Alex Belfield on his harassment. And how happy we are for their victory. Jimmy, one of the people that left a video today in the UK, came in tonight and said you're doing something very important by bringing this out. That was good, and he's going to email
At this
me.
point, you have to.
And Jeremy Vine wrote something today, and he said everything that people are told about ignoring this stuff, it's the wrong advice, and they haven't caught up to what these people are doing, and it's the worst thing. They don't get better with it by ignoring them.
Right.
They have to be held accountable
I believe that at this point, yes. Definitely.
because they're detrimental. They ruined this guy's business. They terrorized his wife. They called his family. They accused this guy saying that he's stealing money. They smear them. Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah.
It's a long time coming.
I mean, they've done so much to us, though, you know that?
Oh, I know they've done all of that to us. Yeah.
Horrendous. Horrendous.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're so blessed your son brought you a double espresso. Oh, good. What time is it there? Let me do what Kat said. Hold on a minute. What was that? 7, 8, 9. Oh, add 2 hours? It's 3 in the afternoon, Gail? No, it's subtract 2 hours, isn't it? I don't know. Linda was saying something. Kat's told her something that, because I thought Australia was almost 12 hours different. So
It's 12 hours, but theirs is PM and ours is AM.
right, but then she
So
was
it's 1:50 PM.
right, but she was saying something about take two off. What time is it, Deborah, where you are? Is it 12 hours? Oh, here's 3 people.
I think Marcos hasn't said anything, so.
Adam-
believe everything you hear from Kat.
Adam Levine, no, I'm not watching The Voice. Sorry.
If you just add 2 hours to your time,
Right.
and then just change
Change it to.
the AM or
So
the
you're
PM.
saying that it's almost 2 here, so it's 4 p.m.
Yep, it's nearly 4 p.m. here.
But that's not the same for all of Australia, right? Because some of it isn't it
So
different?
Gail's half an hour behind.
Right,
But
yeah.
that works for Deborah and myself.
And that's all that really
Until
matters.
daylight
And that's all
savings.
that really matters, right?
Yeah, to give you a roundabout idea anyway.
Joking.
I
No.
just did the same
My
as
voice
mine.
isn't YouTube perfect at the moment.
What?
Oh,
What?
it's nice and husky.
Oh, your voice isn't YouTube.
My voice isn't YouTube perfect at the moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you've been really sick.
My personal experience, when I was terrorized by someone, I totally ignored them because I didn't want to give them the satisfaction of a reaction. And you're right, it doesn't work. It only made things like they just escalated and escalated to try and get my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, the one thing that did work was taking them to court.
Yeah, true.
And I wish I had have known that a lot sooner, to stand up and fight back and just not pretend that it wasn't happening, because it takes a big toll.
We covered that the other night, Katrina. We covered that the other night about the woman that was sending texts to her daughter and then they found her dead. Yeah, we covered that the other night. That's a shame. Okay, and Roberty Bob says that they are at 5:52 p.m. in New Zealand.
Oh, my question was, or what I wrote, I'll read it. All right. Naturally, most companies, people, and organisations wouldn't want to be associated with such negative, harmful behaviour
Right.
and conduct that Alan so shamelessly did over an extended period of time. as it would affect their brand name, reputation, and future success of their livelihoods.
Right.
Which begs me to ask the question, how much has YouTube profited from him? Given that he made like $500,000, I think I recall you saying that, like 500,000 or something a year.
Good
Right.
question. Wow.
Yeah.
Because-
yeah.
What, it's the only thing that makes any sense from YouTube's
Right.
end.
Yeah, because
And-
even when they take the monetization off a channel, and even when channels aren't monetized yet because they haven't met the requirements, YouTube can still monetize their videos without their permission, and they do so. That's why a lot of times you might click on a channel that might only have 400 subscribers, right? Because subscribers
Yeah.
aren't everything, it's the views too. So if they feel a certain video is getting the views, they can slap an ad on that, and that person that made that video doesn't benefit at all, and YouTube benefits 100% on that. And that's what they told us, like about a year ago they came up with that, and they said that, even if you choose not to monetize, or you're not able to be monetized because you haven't met the requirements, we can put an ad on your video without your permission, and you have absolutely no say-so about it. It was basically the memo that came out. And so, yeah, they're benefiting all around. And even if they demonetize a channel, like they say they did his, when you go on YouTube and any search and around there's ads all around, even if they're not on the video. That,
That goes to show where their values and morals their morals compass lies.
yes, and plus they
Because I
can,
also mentioned it had the same vibe that came from the government here when they had the opportunity to sort of fade out like tobacco and cigarettes, but because of the amount of profit that they make from the tax revenue from cigarettes, it wasn't in their best interest to do that. Yet they sort of are so heavily for the health of how much it's costing the health system, having like all the health conditions related to cigarettes and everything, and like they've got that in one breath, but then in another breath, well, we don't sort of want to get rid of the cigarettes. It's like they're profiting too much from it. I think it all comes down to money. Everything really seems to come down to money.
Yes. And also they can put in the recommendations. So if somebody liked that, they can YouTube recommend another video for them, one that they might have their ad revenue on, and that's also another way they can harness those videos, even if they're not monetized, so to speak, channels. So they are benefiting, and they're benefiting by having people even come to see this. If somebody says, oh, you got to see this guy and he's ripping apart somebody else, because there's a lot of people that like to see people ripping people apart. So coming to YouTube, watching that, and going to something else. So they're benefiting 100 times from all of that.
I'd be interested in a number, but a monetary value sort of just from him alone. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to ask. Do the victims in this case, do they get compensated?
I didn't see anything about that, about compensation. They should, and I imagine, like, if it was in this country, then there would be a civil case, maybe. I don't know.
Because it would be nice if part of the ruling from the judge was however much he profited, he'd have to give back, but divide that between the victims.
Yeah. Yes. Should be.
Yeah, you would think.
That would be justice, and that would hit him where it hurts.
Yeah.
And that would affect his family then.
Mm-hmm.
Karma. Oh, I'm in a mood, aren't I?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just great news. I mean, I couldn't,
angry. Yeah.
Ian came in here and said, you're doing a great thing. I think they did a great thing. I think it's like, I want to shout it everywhere, because now there's something when everybody, they won't do anything because it's just internet troll. Oh, it's nothing. And it's all the people it's not real life. I love that one. I when they say it's not, and it's only the people that say it's not real life, or only the people that want to troll and do this stuff, are the people that say that. This is real life, and they better get with the program. Okay, it's or they don't go real life, but that's all they do. They try to call your neighbors. They try to do this. They try to do that.
Sometimes those same people,
And-
those same people have one negative comment written about them, and they lose their
And lose their minds.
like-
Yeah.
yeah, and that's only one tiny, one remark from one person, and they can't handle it.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Exactly, Katrina. Exactly. If someone was doing it on a street corner, they would be arrested. Yes. And hopefully we are now moving, once the precedent and once people start speaking out, then people are less afraid. And yeah, it happened to me. It happened to me. We're going to see a lot more stepping forward. And, saying we're not going to take it
Yeah,
anymore
I think-
because it's not
I think
just.
the United States is the behind when it comes to
Oh, yeah.
new laws and stuff.
But we have to
regarding,
remember that a
cyber.
lot of these harassers, for me, I know they're in the UK. So that is great news. And the other thing is,
Not the
well, you know what I mean, in terms of laws. But the other
Yeah.
thing is that when you see, and why I thank them so much, is that these are people that worked with the BBC. These are people that, were way up there, and their lives, the way they talk about their lives being just desecrated by this abuse is huge. Right? Because people that come on like myself, and it doesn't matter if you have a communications degree or whatever it is, but we're bloggers, we're not working with the BBC. We don't have a bunch of publicists and people around us, directors that we can go to. We don't have an HR department. We don't have anybody we can go to complain about this or to file any suits on our behalf, right? YouTube doesn't listen to us, and there's nobody else but ourselves. And so when you hear about these people, it makes you feel like, wow, okay, so this isn't just like, sticks and stones, like you wanted to say. You know what I mean? This has lasting
it takes
implications.
a lot more
and-
courage when you've got a lot more to lose. And the fact that they had no idea what the outcome would be, because this is like a first. So
Yeah.
you have to admire their they are very courageous indeed.
Yeah, so I mean it's great, and even the BBC, how they told them to ignore it, right? And those women deleted all those emails, and that ended up biting them in the butt when they went to court, and that's wrong.
And like I said before, the BBC wouldn't want that negativity or stigma surrounded by their brand name.
Oh, there's already
And-
tweets on there to defund them and that's what I was just seeing, because that they did not protect
Yeah.
their broadcasters.
And I think like when it comes to harassment, especially with females in the workplace, it really hits a nerve with like the majority of females, because we've all experienced in some shape or form. Type of
Yeah,
harassment.
you know what it's like? It's almost like how sexual harassment was back in the 80s or the 70s, right? The same
Yep.
stuff that now people cannot get away with right in an office that used to happen commonly back then, right? And when people first started complaining about it, they were, oh, what's wrong with you? He's just telling a joke, or he's just doing this, right? Or they're just doing that. And
Yeah.
now that
Just
you can't get away
understandable,
with
yeah.
any of that, right? You'll be fired on the spot. And things that people will be fired on the spot if they said on Facebook and it was seen by their company and it was something like that. Now this is, I think, going to be the next thing. Now I think it's finally been brought out there, and that's what I'm saying. It'll be like that. And I think it's going to follow like the way sexual harassment was. But this is not okay. You can't do this.
worse.
But you can't do this. Whereas, it's not just freedom of speech. Definitely not. It's not sticks and stones. It's not just turn it off. No, because they're infiltrating themselves in our lives.
Honey, yeah, I'm talking about Trish on Twitter and J May and Park.
Yeah.
What they did to us.
Oh, yeah.
Take
Yeah.
a little vacation spot.
They've
with
called the resort. I mean, it's
They
just,
said they already said they wanted to
they
look at
called
some people in the
sponsors.
photo and
Heather
the
was,
video.
well, I have her screenshots of her saying she's calling sponsors. She's calling Patreon,
And she
Trish
said
B, Jay May, Barbara Nellen,
She said
all
you have to
contacting
contact
people in
some
my
of-
life.
Some of the kids in the videos, parents.
Yeah, and
Before-
pretend and no, but they were impersonating parents in that video, impersonating the parents of kids in that video, then twisting things
they
I
act
said,
like-
Teresa
they act
Green,
like
and
they're the
all
ones
of
who-
that. That's
they weren't
exactly
there.
what these people are saying, and you guys are all going to be on the hook for that. And I'm glad. I'm glad.
When you said something about that he was talking about that it was just words,
Yeah.
kind of like the sticks and stones thing, it kind of made me go back to that case where that girl, the boy ended up like committing suicide because she was like
Oh yeah.
sort of harassing and texting him,
Oh, yeah.
and that's a good example.
I love
of,
you
like,
now
words do
die,
matter.
right? Yeah, that document. Yeah. Some words
Good
have
night, Debbie L.
It influences
a
people.
lot of
like
power.
your
And
words
being that
influence
they were
people.
using my minor sons in their video and saying things about my boys that could cause them to be targets and do something to themselves, and they wouldn't take those videos down. I have proof of all of that. They're on the hook for a lot.
I hope they sleep well tonight.
I will.
Sorry.
And I hope every other victim will, because this is great news. Hi, Rambling Recruiter. How are you? Nice of you to show up tonight. I believe I found
It's like when you have kids and you tell them, like,
it's great.
You tell your kids how wonderful they
Well,
are.
it's not great
Like
for
you-
promotion.
you
I
say-
understand that, Katrina, but it's not really great for promotion when they're harassing your family and putting your minor sons up there and lying about your deceased son and doing that while you're on vacation and calling a resort. It's not great promotion. But
You know
I'm
what
sorry.
They did? I mean, they called
Yeah.
the resort and said that
That they were having altercations with me
They
and
said
that I
it-
was telling them that I worked for the resort and I would not stop filming, and they were begging me to stop filming. It was all lies. They weren't at the resort, and the people that called in and emailed were lying, and these people were not vetted. And so
They didn't
then
even
I received an email
knowing
after
there.
we left the resort,
What is
and
your
then they
name?
got in a lot of trouble once I went to the resort and showed the channels that were showing this email, because the higher ups in the corporation saw these people weren't vetted and emails were sent out, and it made them all look like fools. Okay? But you guys showed you were involved in that by showing these emails and saying where they came from and who called the resorts. And you've implicated yourself, and you can go down and take down all your posts and everything, but they've already been screenshot.
they like ruined the place where we can go. Right down, 45, 30 minutes.
Well, no, because corporate is really upset about it, so we'll end up making out on that. But yeah, it made it a very, thankfully we had left, had finished before any of this came out. But yeah, doing so the next day, it was terrible what you did and what you tried to do.
Honey, where's that one
And for
woman
anyone
that
that's not
That's the one from-
familiar
I
with
put it in the refrigerator
Karen's
because I didn't know where it
particular
was.
thing, she's been harassed for like years and
Mm-hmm.
never said anything for years, and it's been going on in the background. And it's only recently of late that she's stood up and fighting back.
Oh yeah.
So
And,
Yeah,
and
it's
people
not-
that
it's
sat
not
on
suddenly-
this platform and then now say I stole their money, right, Patty Loveless? I didn't steal a dime of your money. And nobody would even know who you were if you weren't on this channel, okay? And when I was at the doctor, you concocted your story with your friends up there on the panel. And you know what? Reaped pretty well, okay? But you're on another channel saying, right, that I stole your money, that I have your money.
What money is she talking about?
She says I took her money that was donated to her and kept it for the cricket machine that she got thousands of dollars for. And that is
Are you
not
kidding?
true.
Really?
Really? Yeah, she's on a channel saying that. I've got her screenshots of it. Yes.
Hang on,
And
this
that's
is the
just
money
like
that
what they
was
said about
collected
this Jeremy Vine
without
guy,
your
that he
knowledge?
stole £1,000. And that's criminal to say that about someone and lie. Nana Patty, Patty Loveless.
Hang on, is this the money that was collected while you were at the doctor's? And
Yes.
not even on the panel.
Yes.
You had no
Yes.
idea it was even happening. They didn't
Yes,
even ask
and
for
that I
permission.
stole and kept her money. Yes.
I was in that live stream initially and I was mortified. They even thought that they could take super chats from your channel, your livelihood and work, and use it as a stream funnel to another direction. I was mortified.
Right.
And that's what they did.
Yes, and that's
I'm
not
sure
the
you-
only thing she did. She arranged fundraisers
Oh, yeah,
using this channel name, using this channel's resources to collect money for causes without ever asking permission to do so, but doing it in this channel's name, never providing an accounting for, which she will have to do, and saying, oh, we raised this amount of money, which we gave to blah, blah, blah. But never, ever providing the channel owner in whose name you collected this money to give a gift on behalf of this channel and community without ever providing who gave what amounts, but you used that not once, you did it twice. Who knows how many times you did it? But in a
Carolyn,
court
does
of
that
law,
show-
you're going to have to be accountable. And that's all going to have to check out. Go ahead, what?
Does that show up as revenue for you?
Oh, yes,
In other
I have
words,
to, yes,
you
if she's
can't-
collecting, right. Number one, if she's taking in super chats, okay, on her behalf, yes, that would all, I would have to claim all of that, okay, that's collected.
And you have to pay
And-
taxes on it.
Exactly.
You gotta pay-
Exactly. And now she's collecting money on behalf of the channel that I know nothing about. And then that's just horrendous. But they were an entitled bunch, and it was all about, as you can see, money and what's in it for them. Which were gifts and money and things that were sent through. So yeah,
And, yeah.
because
all
anybody
I
on
can
the
say
up,
is that-
anybody on the up and up, I know that. First of all, if I was on a channel, I would ask permission. Second of all, if I arranged for people to donate money to a cause, let's say whatever, somebody's bereavement fund or whatever it was, the first thing I would do at the end of that is not only take screenshots of all the donations that came in with everyone's name and then the final totals and present that all to the channel owner whose channel I was organizing this on. That's what an honest person would do. Someone that doesn't do that is not looking too honest.
No.
I remember there was a saying that I think it's like the tongue has no bones, but it's strong enough to break a heart.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I laugh when they call me a cult leader because it's the furthest thing. A cult leader would have never allowed you to do the things you did on this channel, Nana Patty. Never. So, your
She
little
claims
cult
she
leader
never
thing.
got anything from over here. She never got any.
Yeah, I know she worked tirelessly with nothing. She got nothing.
I'll bet she wouldn't allow it on her channel.
Oh no, she'll be in control of
no.
that, and that's your cult leader. That's your cult. That's your cult leader. Not me.
Yeah. Interesting.
It was funny that she wanted everyone's contact information too. I didn't find out about half the things that were going on until after she was gone. If she ended up pocketing money, there needs to be, exactly. I am going to report that she held fundraisers on behalf of this channel and has not provided any accounting of any of that to me.
Some people want to see you do well, but not better than them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of those. It's just, I think that if anything, it shows how stupid she is, because she had it so good here. People bought her so many things at the auctions, like anything that was purple, and you know, she had, it's just like, why would you
Because they're always
destroy all
greedy,
of that?
because people are greedy. They want more.
But like trying to destroy you, really, she's just destroyed herself.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
not very
Exactly.
Christian.
No, not at all. Yeah.
And you did nothing but like you're so supportive, you help everyone. And I'd just like to say, because you probably don't know, people that are listening, behind the scenes, like me personally, Carolyn's sort of there like 24/7 and does, you would not believe how much she'll go out of her way to, like, you know, truly be there and support and help. Like, she's helped me. Like, I'm forever grateful. Like, I feel like I've got my life back, and I've got a true friend that I can trust with my life, and it's been nothing but positive. So it really baffles me, all these sort of hate channels that they don't even know her, and the ones that have known her, they're just jealous and bitter. Like, she did nothing but, you know, support them and help them, and it's just because of jealousy, like, and greed. And greed's an ugly, ugly emotion. Yeah, so it's just, yeah, it's baffling that someone so kind is being attacked. But unfortunately in the world, you become a target because you've got a beautiful family. Jimmy and you are together. I know some of their relationships aren't the best. You've got kids that, you know, love you, and you interact with them, and you've got a beautiful house where you live. You're fit, you're healthy, like you've got your health, like most of them don't have your health. You've got so many things to be jealous of. And instead of, like, you know, being happy for you, these, you know, if they could be happy for you and support you and be part of it, you know, they'd still be here. But unfortunately, they want what you have, and it kills them to see you do, I guess, better than them. So I think it just comes down to the individuals themselves on these channels, and unfortunately the people that support them.
Yeah, but I think they're all going to end up seeing a lot of things, because, I mean, she's had a channel a few months now, and she's been caught in, like, major lies. Okay, the first being that they didn't know they were live on this channel, where she tried to lie for herself in Moo. She was caught right there, because I put out the video and everybody saw it, and everybody saw she lied, and she went on there and lied, and that was one. And then there was another big one last week, but there's even a bigger one now. Somebody told me, she just said, oh, she's so shocked, she doesn't know what this means, this email that she's monetized, but it must be good because it says congratulations. You see, I've seen this from other creators that always think they're talking to people that are not creators and that they don't know anything. That's when they used to tell people that, oh, YouTube takes 50% of super chats, so please send PayPal, or they would always misstate purposefully the things that any YouTube creator would know. So she says she doesn't know how she got monetized, or doesn't know much about it, but it's a good thing, to that effect. Well, what Nana Patty is not telling you is that in order to get monetized, you must initiate it, number one. You must initiate it by opening a Google AdSense account and then applying to become part of the YouTube partnership program. And without any of that, it doesn't matter if you have 10 million subscribers. You don't get monetization in part of the YouTube partner program unless you initiate it. So it is lie again. And then did you notice the number one thing? My subscribers. They are all narcissists. It is always my channel, my subscribers, my this, my that. And they've got a grasp on it. And it's never our, it's my all the time. And now that there's money involved, just wait, because that's going to change everything. There are so many people in that little realm on that panel that are wanting to start their own channel or have their own channel that's not doing well. That is going to put the icing on the cake. They've already fallen out with each other. They're already breaking up inside that thing. And now add the money. You'll see. The casualties are coming.
And if anyone doesn't know Nana Patty, this is just my personal opinion. Take it how you want, form your own opinion. But the couple from Dirty Dancing, the old couple that was stealing the wallets,
Oh, yeah.
the Schumachers.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh, I forgot about that,
The
yeah.
husbands just think the Schumachers. And that pretty much sums them up.
Forgot about that. They everything fell out at the end, right? Didn't it, out of the coat, out of the jacket or something? Isn't that how they were found out? Didn't something fall out of his jacket?
But aren't they the last people that you would suspect to?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's always the
be
last.
deceiving and lying. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Yep.
Always making it think it's something else, and always trying to convince you someone else is this, and oh, they couldn't walk away. You guys were all able to walk away. Nobody runs a cult over here. The fact that you said you were brainwashed, Mama Ames, that you were brainwashed. Mama Ames, you were a liability. Do you know how many people, and you know for a fact that Belly Dancer said that you drove her off the channel, right? You had a big fight with her in the comments. You fought with so many people, Mama Ames, and you said you loved it. You loved to be mean and nasty. Yeah. I have those screenshots. You cost so many people to leave here. And I hate to tell you, but one of the people you say is your buddy now, if you really had your mole in Slack and you saw that screenshot, then you would know that she said you were the one that she didn't like, right? But you all put on a false narrative that I was this big cult leader.
Some people are wondering, like, why so many people left at once. In my opinion, I think it's because you gave them a hall pass, because they saw that you were so quiet about all the harassment and bullying going on behind the scenes, and you never disclosed anything. Like, you had so much evidence and all of this sort of thing, but they knew you and they knew your character. So I think they had a false sense of security that you would never sort of bring that up and expose that sort of thing. But
I
yeah,
agree that
you don't get the same crown twice.
Yeah, right. Yep. Oh boy, yeah. No, don't worry, Hillary. I'm not going to shut my mouth anymore. You wish I would shut my mouth. I'm not going to shut my mouth anymore. Shutting my mouth is what allowed you to spread the lies that you've spread, because I shut my mouth.
Is it not funny how people try to tell you what to do?
Yep, because they don't want me to say the truth. They don't want me to put the truth out there.
Truth is not healthy to them.
But it's funny they can't take their own advice.
No.
No.
And you got
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
like Moo that immediately, before she even left, was already playing mind games with me, already pretending people were going to her and saying that I was sending them things that didn't happen, that anybody would believe Moo was a moderator that anyone would go to. People didn't even know she was a moderator. She was never here, and they would have gone to more prominent moderators, but she continued this narrative and then said that all these people were going and complaining about me, and what about all the people that hate me, and then went and started making Jim Jones video, who she's obsessed with, but told me the very same things that, oh, about the other person, that, oh, that's who they are. They're a cult leader, when she's talking about Natasha Cooper, or whether she's talking about whoever it is. It's always the same thing. Whoever she doesn't like at the time is Jim Jones. And then she brings out the Jim Jones videos. And these are people that she is infatuated with and wants to just keep bringing out the same story over and over again. Puts out the Jim Jones videos and then says, oh, we tried to walk away quietly. You did no such thing, Moo of Two, Bitey Cat, whatever name you're going through, a scapegoat, Faith, whatever name you're under. You most certainly did not want to walk away. Not at all. Saying I'm threatening your 2 and
let's give them the
4-year-old grandchildren. That's what she says
Let's
now.
give them the benefit of the doubt. Give them the benefit of the doubt, and that's what they initially thought they were going to do. They were going to walk away. But it was only a matter of time before they realised that it wasn't profitable and good for their views and audience to, like, unless they were hating on you, they didn't get that same attention.
Do you know what I think? They didn't get their ticker tape parade.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well,
they
many
wanted
people,
that great
yeah.
big.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what they didn't get? They didn't get, you know, come back, we miss you. They didn't get their ticker tape parade.
Yeah,
So they
and
made
they
their
didn't
own.
get everyone to follow them. And they've
No.
already had people that have moved away and said that they are everything that they said that I was, meaning that they're the ones that are the cult leader and the controllers, and they've already fallen out amongst themselves.
And to highlight for anyone that's interested, I think what happened was that because Carolyn was so nice and so accommodating to everyone and wanted to see everyone do well, so she would promote their channels and let us sell our stuff and make money and everything. But they got a little bit too big for their boots, and that self-importance, because I'm not sure if am I allowed to mention Nana Patty's list of demands.
No, you go ahead. You mentioned they've put it all out there, so yeah, she put it all out there in her her video.
Pretty much gave Carolyn an ultimatum to keep me on the channel because she thought so highly of herself and thought that because of her, that's the reason why Carolyn was so successful. Nothing to do with all the time and effort and energy that Carolyn's put in over the years and her life experience, and you know, like, your credentials are just, you know, mind-blowing and amazing, and that's another reason to be jealous, and that's another reason they're stupid to mess with you, especially knowing how good you are at crime and figuring things out. And it just blows me away. It's like they're not very smart, they're not very talented, they don't have much going for them, they're not healthy,
No.
they don't have much in their life.
And she lied. Oh, that was the other lie. She lied right to them and said that she's been live with me for 4 years. Nana Patty has not been live with me for 4 years. And so when she said, I don't know why I'm nervous doing this, I've been going live for 4 years. No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
I think she thought that without her, your channel would crumble.
Mm-mm.
I just want to share something, and I hope people can understand me. Now, I just want everybody to know that there is a really good, strong group of Australian ladies behind Carolyn. And we've been strong supporters for a very, very long time. And there is also a very, there's a group of Australian ladies that aren't supporting Carolyn. And when that comes out and they are exposed, I think yous are going to be shocked that
I was by, you can get them.
Who'd we lose? Who just went bye-bye? I don't even know who that was.
Cats,
No, Katz is here.
No, still here.
us Aussie, the Aussies, the ladies, the ones that are supporting Carolyn, we're in for the long haul. And, you know, some of those Australian ladies that they're barking up the wrong tree, and I think they're backing the wrong group. And I think you're going to have to look at yourselves, because there are some Australian laws that are in place now that they're stepping over. And I hope people understood what I'm saying with this
Oh, I do.
voice at the moment, but I just wanted to
do.
put that out there.
I just want to ask you a question, Gail. Are the trees still green over there in Australia?
Yeah.
So
The
we're
trees are very
They
green over here.
they don't turn colors like here?
No,
Yeah,
well, in
we're just
Adelaide,
like winter.
Oh.
in Adelaide, South Australia, trees are really green.
Oh, that's nice.
Everything's springing at
Yeah,
the moment, so
it's
coming
their
to life.
spring.
Oh, that's good.
Do you know the old saying? My grandfather used to always say, "Do you know Eileen?" And I said, "Yeah." I leaned over and he goes, "Do you know Gail out in the backyard, that tree?" "Yeah, it's green. Trees are green, Gail." Oh, Poppy, you're so funny.
Oh,
Just
boy.
to sum up what Gail said, in a quote, Gail, in a nutshell, said, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes." We have a very different legal system over here in Australia, which doesn't muck around. If you are Australian, before you do something you regret, just take a moment to Google the cyberbullying laws. Just educate yourself. Knowledge is power.
Yeah, definitely now, especially.
You're welcome.
Now, especially that one channel that loves to go into chats and issue threats. That's not going to work too well for you.
Yeah,
I'm not
especially
too
when
well.
there's like an Australian that lives in a nation's capital that knows people that knows people. Just saying.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a different ball game, and then those that have just a hate channel, they're dreading it, because what other content are they going to have? And that's if they're even allowed to be on YouTube after the courts get finished with them, and how long they'll be put away for, I don't know. But it's a
If
wonderful
anyone's
victory.
listening, be smart.
The wonderful victory today, yesterday, now, this weekend, and everybody coming out. Every day there's more people coming out and talking about what's been done to them, and it's going to keep on doing it, just like any other thing that's ever
Like the Me Too
happened.
movement.
Right, like any movement like that. Once somebody comes up, oh, this person attacked me, and this, you see it all the time, right? The gymnasts in the Olympics, right? There's got to be a few brave souls that come forward, and then
Oh, gosh.
more and more and more and more come forward. And that's what happens with anything. There's always ones that forge the way, and then the people say, okay, I'm not going to be embarrassed about this. I was terrorized by this person. I was terrorized by this person. This person threatened me.
Yeah.
And I know the same way that some of these people that were taken advantage of by some of the people that left here, and told some of the things behind the scenes that I know that they were told now about me that never happened. I know there's going to come a day and you're going to wake up, and there's certain ones of you that I know are going to say, oh my gosh, they lied to me. I never saw Carolyn do that. Carolyn never did that to me, never saw her do it to anybody, but I just accepted it because it came from this person and that person and this person, and so it had to be true because they had stories, and I wasn't going to question them. So when you people, and you will, realize you were lied to, and what you did to me by just either turning on me, ghosting me, not speaking with me because of something, and you will finally learn the truth. Yeah, I wish you will come to me like others have and say what happened. But I wish you would have thought for yourself and not just blindly accepted what they told you, because it's nothing but lies.
I mean, it would take show a lot of character to talk to Carolyn and apologize.
I mean, they saw
be-
these people
be human.
posting letters, having somebody post letters hundreds of times that were completely false in there in order to break a community. And they still didn't accept it for what it was, because somebody might have dimples and maybe look like they're telling the truth. Have I shared my story on TikTok? You know what? That's a great idea, Katrina. Thank you. That is a good idea. I truly appreciate. Thank you, Katrina. That's a good idea. TikTok, that's how they put out a little soundbite and then they bring it to a video. Thank you very much, Katrina. That's a great idea.
It'd
You
be
know,
nice just to,
lying is self-serving,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's selfish too,
Right.
and it hurts people.
Oh yeah, and yeah,
People
you
lie
should,
so
you
they
and
don't
you
have to
should
take
know, right?
responsibility.
Because Linda was lied about, big time.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
that line just avoids accountability
Mm-hmm. Yeah, by
and
some.
also
But
tries
it's
to
also
check
self-serving. You know, after she went against me, who was next?
Yeah, exactly. And if she could lie about that and say that, then exactly who's next and what's going to be the next lie. And who knows
One
what
lie makes
she's
you
lying
question all
about
truths.
besides about the rest of us on the vacation, what they're lying about.
Yeah, one lie makes you question all the truths,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
Yep.
And it says a lot more about them than it does about you.
Yep. They couldn't
And think
build
like
anything on their own. They had to steal it, to undermine it, to go get it in some measure that would rip somebody down, that tried to promote them, that tried to help them. Yeah.
One of my children years ago at school was having trouble with a bully,
Mm-hmm.
and he was really upset and really took it personally because he's a good kid and couldn't understand why this kid was just picking on him, and really took it to heart. And the thing that kind of comforted him and really changed how he felt about it was I explained bully isn't a happy person. And
No.
I said, look around school, like all the kids that are happy, they're all really good friends, but the bullies are the ones who aren't happy. And I said, you don't know what's happened in their home life. Like they could be bullied by their siblings or having a hard time with parents. Like, something bad's happening there, and they're coming to school and they're taking it out on other people. And sometimes it's, to get their power back or, so it's like, it's the same, I think, with adults, they're just big kids. So the people who are bullying, they're not happy. And I think, in a way we should really feel sad for them that this is where their life's at. And instead of enjoying their retirement years and stuff, and that should be the best time of your life, because but
Their
the fact that they've chosen
their
to spend
family,
their
yeah.
energy in such a negative way by
Mhm.
destroying other people, it's really actually really sad.
And you know what it is? It destroys their health. And they're saying that they're
Yes.
not healthy people anyway, but having that hate, having that consume them, that every day they've got to go and spread more lies and more rumors and go on the attack and try to get more people behind the scenes and doing all of that covert, nasty behavior. is what will eat a person up inside, that hate, the jealousy, the bitterness. What they're always trying to say that is over here, no, that's you looking in the mirror. That's consuming you.
I mean, when you
Very
have
good.
like love in your life, like whenever, if you think like when you've fallen in love,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. The whole world could be.
Oh
like
no,
falling
you're in that
apart around
euphoric state, that euphoric state where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I could do anything, right? I'll run
Yeah.
down to their store. You have this in tremendous energy. You don't need to sleep. You don't need to eat, right?
So what?
When you're in love, when
And-
you're in that
Oh, yeah.
euphoric
Okay, you
love.
gotta hit- you guys- little
Yeah.
hits to your
And even
wall.
like sort of like,
Yeah.
if you've got, grandkids, and it's like, all your time and energy is spent in all things so good in your life and people that you love. And so I just feel that these people have very empty, sad lives.
Exactly.
And it's just exposing
Well-
it.
I understand what you're saying and I get where you're coming from. But on the other hand, I don't feel sorry for them because they have a choice
Mm-hmm.
and they are choosing to do what they're doing and being self-aware and conscious of what they're doing. So they've made the choice to do this. And I don't feel sad or sorry for that.
Right. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I mean, you know where it's coming from. It's coming from a place of bitterness and hatred, and
Right.
and they don't have any belief in themselves and their own abilities to really do something on their own, so they have to destroy somebody else. But yeah, feeling sorry for them, no, they know exactly what they're doing. They know when they're talking to somebody behind the
Right.
scenes that they're lying to them. And they're
Exactly.
smug. They're smug in that, because instead of just shutting her mouth the other night when I was talking about what happened with the cricket, she had the audacity to go right on and watch that and go right on there and say she stole my money.
Yeah.
So then it's like, what is wrong with you?
Craziness.
Wait, just the other day, she went on and said you
Yes,
stole her
when I
money?
did my lake video and I was talking about all of that, about how she got this cricket out of this and this and that, she had the audacity, Nana Patty, to go on another hate channel and compliment the person that looked up my mother's obituary and made that fake narrative about my mother, diagnosing my mother with mental illness and all kinds of stuff, and saying stuff about me, and said, "Thank you so much for putting out the truth. She stole my cricket money."
Get out of here. She showed it in her house. It was on a card.
Oh,
I
well,
know
she's not denying that she got that, but she's saying that I stole her money. That I
How could
stole
she?
money from her
You didn't
because
steal
she
her
got
money.
so much money, Sharon. The woman got so much money, she was able to buy her own cricket, her own cart, her own supplies, everything.
She got thousands behind the scenes. She got floorboards. She got,
Yes, and they said, "Oh, maybe you'll have enough to help with your floors and everything."
and
she was
got
raking it
$1,000
in,
from
and
going
the
to the
entire
pokies that week.
the entire time
Yeah.
she sat on her phone, right, guys? Because we watched. I had never seen it. I watched it because I was in the doctor, and all she was doing, she couldn't stop staring at her phone and watching the PayPals come in once her PayPal was out there, and she was just, oh my gosh, I've never seen that woman smile like that, but money does that to her, I guess.
It was a production.
And
Hang on, can
something
I-
else that got me was after the fact, she got upset when Bailey wanted her to send the, not accept
Oh
the
yeah,
cricket.
I know.
Why would you get upset over something when you
You
were
got
given the
so much
money,
money.
to buy a brand new and plus everything you needed to go with it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
you
should
know-
have been given to
Wait,
someone else,
$200?
like another moderator that really wanted a cricket and really couldn't afford it. And Nana Patty, that should have gone to that other moderator. And shame on you, because you wouldn't, why did you want that cricket? You don't even use
She
it.
still, the other one
Can't
is.
even use it.
That's
Wait,
just greedy. I'm
I don't
sorry,
know
that's
them.
just greedy.
It's
Did she
greed.
did she accept and have
She was
delivered?
going to, until Bailey told her, hey, wait a minute. You raked in thousands of dollars in donations. You won $1,000 at the casino. And now you are going to accept this Cricut machine from me that someone else has to pay the shipping for on top of it all, when this could go to somebody that really would like one and can't afford it? And she was so upset that Bailey made her do that.
Oh,
She was
Wow.
mad about it.
Because she
She
thought
was
she should have
furious.
it and have all the
Livid.
money too, because then she wouldn't have to buy. She could use that money for something else, right?
okay, I have to know. Isn't I looked the last time I looked up crickets, weren't they like a couple $100?
Yes, I know. And she got way over that. Way over that.
I know that. Wow. Wow.
And she got money behind the scenes that wasn't made public, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And then
I
still
was
went
trying
on
to
and
take
said I
funds,
stole
okay?
her money on right after that on another channel. Carolyn stole my money.
Cat. Someone has to start a cat fund for me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, seeing we're a true crime channel and we deal with like facts. If this went to
Yeah.
court because you stole her money, first of all, was there an agreement made? Because you were unaware that this was happening on your channel, on your platform, and that super chats were being, like people donating to super chats. It's like there was nothing in place to say that that was her money,
Mm-hmm.
like no agreement with you. So how could you steal her money that you didn't even, like, there's
Right.
nothing said beforehand?
You didn't know Carolyn didn't know for hours that was going on.
No, they just
Right.
did that while I was in
Read-
the doctor's office, and
Read Linda Uribe's comment in chat.
Linda Uribe said,
Yeah.
she's also saying she raised thousands for your channel and she should have some of that money. Are you kidding me, Linda Uribe?
Wait, what?
There's that entitlement.
She said, Linda Uribe said that she's also saying that she raised thousands for this channel and she should have some of that money.
When did she?
When did she do this? When did she do
I don't think
this?
she ever fundraised for Carolyn.
Never.
Where did that come from?
Mm-mm.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
We were always praying for her and always trying to, make sure that Nana was okay.
Right.
All the
Maybe she
services
put
that we
maybe she
raised,
put
the
people's
flowers.
kindness and love. Well, everyone's kindness and love. Maybe she took that and that's what gave her that self-importance and yeah, it's
How
not,
about-
we're just
how
really
about-
nice, kind, loving people.
How about Nana Patty count up all the gifts and stuff that she was given and sell them off, and then there's her payment.
Mm-hmm. And I know
She was given some really
I'm
nice pricey stuff.
she was on that panel because again I had never seen that when I was in the doctor's office. I saw it for the first time, and she sat up there and said, I would really like a Cricut, which first of all I can't even understand because never seen her do crafts like that, but I'd really like a Cricut, but there's something I want more. Oh, what is that?
Yeah.
I want new floors. Oh, you want new floor? Maybe she was hoping that all of her flooring would be paid for, and maybe it was. Maybe it was. Because she got new floors immediately after that as well.
Come on.
She
That's
we
that's
saw
that
it.
saying,
I
you
saw
don't
it for
give
the
me,
first
take a
time,
while.
Sharon. And then they said, well, what is it? And she said, well, I want a Cricut, but I have to get new floors because, yeah, I need new floors. And then Bailey said, I'll give you my Cricut. I'm going to upgrade. And then somebody said, I'll pay for the shipping. Now most people would be like, oh no, I'll get the shipping. You're sending me that machine. And it's funny that Gordon Lovelace, who called me a twat, okay, Gordon, very classy, keeping it classy. And you said I was too cheap to pay for shipping. What would you like to be called for not paying for the shipping yourself and all of that? You know, you see, yeah, it's very, very telling, and very telling that a man, you're supposed to have this distinguished military background, would call a woman that publicly. That's disgusting.
Wow, I've missed a lot.
My husband would not do that. So it
Never.
doesn't. That's disgusting.
No.
And if anybody
My
called me
husband
that,
would never
there
call
would be no. If my husband heard someone call me that, they wouldn't be left standing. I tell you now.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And all of you that supported that and thought, well, I know the hater channel one, the one Trees of Green and all that. Oh, I respect him. Look at him standing up for his wife. First of all, a man can stand up for his wife without lying and without calling a woman that. And he did both in that email.
Right.
It was full of lies, and he called me a disgusting name. And then went on drama channels and kept lying. Yeah,
Just a bully.
a bully, a bunch of bullies.
And then sleazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
To call
definitely.
you something like that, you know, no,
Yeah,
no
disgusting.
real man will ever
No.
do that.
That's
No.
true.
Not even
Disgusting.
under
It's
their
the
breath.
caliber of man he is.
Yeah.
Even more disgusting knowing he's got a military background. It's very
Yeah, I'm sure they'd
disrespectful.
be proud of him. I'm sure the Navy or the whatever branch he was in would be very proud of him.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It scares me to think how he treated women in the military.
Yeah.
That really scares me.
Yeah.
Well,
To be a
just because
woman
you
in the military.
doesn't make you a good person. It just doesn't. So.
And didn't he allow his the mother of his children to be disparaged on a YouTube video that his children had to ask to be taken down because it was so disrespectful? I believe that is what happened. And that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like he has a lot of respect for women.
Nope.
Tammy said someone's trying to get on the panel.
Oh yeah.
On the, can hear the doorbell.
No, no one's rung the doorbell.
No.
No, I haven't heard it ring.
Oh,
There
hello.
it goes.
Yeah.
There it is.
What is it?
Oh, here comes trouble.
Was pressing all the wrong things. Was joined with video, and I was, oh my god, am I on video? Oh, jeez.
Hi, Hannah.
You're live, Sharon.
Hey,
No, that's
hi.
Carol.
Carol.
Girl.
Sorry, girls.
Oh,
Was I on video there? I didn't mean to be.
No, just for a
Listen.
second. You look fine.
They caught me. Oh my god.
Well, now they know.
Carol, put your
Now,
clothes
now,
on.
now they know you're not. You and I are not the same person.
Yeah, they,
That's
Oh my god,
true.
I've got to mute when I.
A couple of years ago, though,
Carol,
I thought
sorry.
these
turn
two
your-
were the same
Turn
person.
your,
I thought it was the only way Carolyn could go and go out and explore the big tubes. And then I'm like, no, they're not the same person.
Yeah, but girls, you forgot about the GoFundMe's, like. I mean, you see their house, beautiful house, and GoFundMe.
Oh, bring it on,
I
Carol.
mean, that's only something recent that we found out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well,
just
not only that-
eye-opening the last month. Big
I
time.
mean, is
They
that even,
both get
when they wanted
pensions.
to, yeah, but when they wanted to GoFundMe was for their rent, but they own their house, so
Yeah.
that's very
Right.
deceptive. And,
Scammers.
Well,
I
you
won't say
know
it.
if they actually own or if they have a mortgage. But what I would like to say is that how is it possible? Like, I believe that Patty's on disability. I'm almost certain of it.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
she
I
said
don't
she's
know
mentioned
about
that because she was going to help someone else. Don't you remember
Right.
with the disability
She's
lawyer?
mentioned-
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she has to have, she was nursing for 20 years or 25 years.
that's 401k.
Gotta be
You know, looking at
pension.
them, they're not short of a bob.
I don't
When you actually
understand how
see the house.
there's two people, how they could be so behind all the time. I don't get it. I don't
to
get
put
it.
up,
Well,
Debbie,
somebody did mention that she's fond of the casino, so that would explain a lot.
put up
Debbie, you were trying to
elderly
mention
couples
something before, love.
Very anxious to get
on
monetized.
fixed
You know yourself.
income, need money
Yes.
for rent and bills.
All right, Debbie
Going to
J.
say that he gets a pension from the Navy. He was in the military for a long time. So he gets a pension from that. And I'm sure even though she's on disability, she gets something for being in nursing for so long.
Oh, more than likely.
So,
And like, you wouldn't begrudge them that, but it's the lies and the
exactly.
I don't know nothing about monetization, and she's been
Yeah,
talking
when you
about
have
this
to, when you
for the
have
last
to
couple of weeks.
initiate that
How do I do
yourself.
this? How do I do
And you
that?
know what? I've had to help other people with that. Other people that I've helped start channels. And so I can tell you, it's not something that you just click a few buttons. There are, a lot of hoops you've got to jump through. So to say like,
She
oh, I
was
don't
going
know, I
well,
just look
Karen.
at this I got,
She knows
congratulations. Yeah, she was every bit was there to get a monetized channel. It was never
the
for a
reason why she
place
left
for
you, Carla.
friends. Exactly. She had already said she
all
was going
into
to
it.
start a channel on that vacation.
She never would have got the 1,000 subs without hating on you.
Never.
And she knew that.
Right.
There was nobody watching her at the beginning.
No, half of those are Natasha Cooper people.
Yes, they
Well,
are.
then, yeah.
Yeah. And it's only because she started
Natasha
trashing Carlin that they
Cooper.
started going over there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Natasha's on anymore. So her people, if Natasha decides to come back on, her
No, I
people
think-
are
I think she's
probably
still
Well,
on.
she's on and off, but
No, I
yeah,
think she's
Natasha's not going to be happy because they went to Pink to tell their story. And Davida Lane, who just hates drama, just happens to be a wrench for Pink Lady Luck. That's
Yeah, but
pretty
sure, she's
funny.
leaving her job too
Davida,
and going
I
full
thought
time.
you hated drama, Davida, and you didn't even know who these people were.
Because she's going full time. Did you not hear her on the live?
Exactly,
She's
and
leaving
they'll
her job
sell
and she's
their
making a
soul.
career out of YouTube.
Sell
So
their
they need to
soul.
get the subs from somewhere. Doesn't matter that they're
Step
bashing
on
you or
whose ever
bashing you
neck they need to step
and
on.
lying about you.
Yep,
They just sicken me. They're not the people I thought they were. I just can't believe it.
opportunists.
It's money. That's what it's all about.
Well, it all comes down to that. It always
Yeah.
does.
It's the root of a lot of evil,
Oh yeah.
Sure is.
you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm just sick of their lies, girl, and I'm glad we're getting this off our chest because they just get away with all this. They get away with this crap
Well,
every day of the week.
You know,
know?
we've sat back and we've been quiet. They've started this,
Yeah.
and enough's enough.
Yeah,
is.
and
You know,
they've done a lot of damage, and
Yeah.
they have continued to do it, and continue to do it, and continue to do it.
Yeah. Calling themselves
And not
hostages
one
and
person would
victims.
know
Oh my
who they
God.
were without what they're trying to destroy.
But they're
Between
all
the
nicey
two.
nicey now to Natasha's subs.
Oh
Over
yeah,
there.
she's shaking
And the
hands with it.
things that they've
They
said
don't
about
care,
them,
and the
oh my
things they've
God.
said about all those people.
Unbelievable.
But they're all one dirtier than the next, so they don't even care. You think Pink
Yeah.
cares that these people really can't stand her? No, because they're just a stepping stone, and they'll turn them over just as fast. As soon as they're no use to them, they'll kick them
Yeah.
right away.
Yes.
That's all they are. There's no real friendship between any of those people. They're all stepping stones
They're all
for each
grafting
other. Mm-hmm.
off each other. They're all parasites, a lot of them.
Did you
Yep.
say what Katrina thing right?
Yeah, I was
She's
gonna
on-
say that's
she's on
true, Katrina.
disability.
So
She's capped at
she's
how
gonna
much money
start
she can
doing
make.
this on PayPal.
Yeah.
And she better be.
Yeah, because if she starts doing it, now that she's monetized, she has a job and she can work, right?
And then they attack you for selling napkins. I mean,
Yeah.
they're unbelievable. Such hypocrites, like.
Yeah.
At
I
least
agree,
you're
Katrina.
giving something. At least
But the thing is
people are buying
she gonna
something.
be honest and report it? I mean, that's the thing.
I'm on disability, and I think that I'm allowed
Yes,
to
I would,
earn
Rambling.
a certain amount of money. I don't even know because
Yeah.
I haven't even made an effort
Yeah,
to get a job.
yeah.
You know,
You have to look in your state to see what you're eligible to make to be capped out without it affecting your disability amount. Cause I think every state is different.
Yeah, I'm not getting a job, so I don't know really the rules of,
Could be
Voters go to Twitch to
it could
eBay.
be 20. You know,
Don't
they
you have
don't
enough
want
socks?
to pay extra money.
Oh God.
I
Yeah,
love
but
what
there,
I
but
do.
there's
Go
there's
back
no
and forth.
genuineness there. You can see it because if they,
Yeah.
especially with somebody like Moo, somebody like Moo immediately made fun of someone in a very bad place, showed private messages, Muppets and Manilow and Nana Patty. Nana Patty asked to see Muppets and Manilow's messages with me, which Muppets and Manilow gave right to her. So if anybody thinks you could trust either one of those people, you're crazy because they're all sharing
Right.
texts. Okay?
Yeah.
And if they'll share their texts, believe me, they're going to share your text with them.
And then they call you out for showing evidence after they accuse you of everything under the sun.
Yep. And
Makes
worse
me
than that,
laugh, like.
they showed them on videos, and they supported it. So all of the people that supported that are perfectly okay with that. And they'll do it to all of you too. And
Yeah.
anyone that's talking to them and anyone that's in it with them, and we know for a fact that they're up to their elbows in dirty dealings, as someone has already said who has left them. Oh boy, you know?
Yeah.
It's all coming out because they're
Yeah.
all fighting
Plenty
with
more.
each other.
Plenty more.
Okay? They're all fighting with each other already. Moo can't stand Casbat again. How long did that take? How long did that take?
She
And
couldn't
now
stand her in the
they're
first
fighting
place.
over
There's
Evie
no
again.
surprise
How
there.
it all works out because Moo's got a love affair with Evie, and so does Casbat, and it's going to be a tug of war for who gets Evie like the last time.
Well, I'm just surprised Casbat would have the time of day for her.
And how any of them
After everything
can
she
be
did
with
for-
each other after Moo has already exposed everything on those two prior, and now is doing it again. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And yeah, it's really just amazing.
And like, with guys, like, 99% of the time, once a cheater, always a cheater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of gauging on what people have done to other people should be a pretty good prediction of what's going to happen to you when you get caught in their web.
I'm just very surprised with Natasha Cooper that she lets them over there because she gets stabbed in the back so many. Like, look what Dorothy did to her as well. I'm really surprised at her.
Well, she doesn't know probably yet, She doesn't know that her
Right.
people are over there. Teresa Green, who's always kissing up to Natasha. Is it okay if I
Yeah.
go to BBT's, Natasha? Is it okay? Teresa, what are you going to say? Because Natasha
think
doesn't
she-
like Nana Patty because Nana Patty didn't go to her and she went to Pink. Teresa Green, you're going to get in trouble, girl.
She's a nut job, that Teresa Green. Jesus.
She is a busybody
She's so
and
obsessed with
obsessed
she's everywhere.
with me.
Is that
Her
what,
whole day and night is obsessed with you.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
No life.
And Jules of Thought,
Oh,
you have never stopped being obsessed with me. I saw your tweet the other day accusing me of taking down Natasha's channel. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I think you can blame and give credit to many other people, but your obsession with me has been from day one. And you have lied about me from day one. And you're lying about me and saying I called your job and I did this and I did that to you. Dream on, sweetheart. Let's see the proof or shut your mouth because you're going to be legally responsible for all these things you're saying and lying about like you have since 2019.
She does it for views, Carla.
Oh, I know.
She
She
just-
gets nothing unless
she
she's
just
talking
says
about
what she
drama,
likes.
and she sucks on
all
to
about the money.
anybody. If it's Ryan Upchurch or if it's that AK Rocks guy, it's whoever's doing better than her, whoever has a scandal that she can leech onto.
But she was always a parasite because even in the
Always.
days when she
And
was
what
out
really
doing-
bothered her,
she
let's
was
get
going
down
around
to
all
brass
the other
tacks.
channels trying
What
to get shows.
really got under her skin was what? That I called out that her theory that Chris Watts put the girls in the tanks through the plates that they took off to retrieve them was utter lunacy. And that drove her insane. That I pointed out that was just like so unfathomable. And she couldn't believe it because she thought she's always looking for that viral thing. Like that's why she was trying to enhance the picture of the milk jug with Summer Wells. She didn't care about Summer Wells. She wanted to exploit that case and find something that would go viral, like AD, like The Shadows. And she was going to find something on that milk jug or something on that child's face. And she sat there zooming in and zooming out. And look, doesn't this look like a bruise? And doesn't this and doesn't that? And any credible person in true crime would tell her, what are you doing? But she's always looking for the conspiracy. And she thought she had it with the Watts case, that because he went to NASCAR school and he knew how to use that gun that takes the lug nuts off in a minute, that then he could easily do that. But she didn't bother to think that it took how many hours to drain those tanks before they could take that off. And he didn't have any time to do that. And if you had even thought, but you just thought everybody that's watching me is a moron, I'll put this on, I'll grab up the money that I can get from this, and it'll go viral. And that's how Jules of Thought always is. And that's the audience that she attracts.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, but no wonder you hate it. No wonder she hates you. How dare you come at her with logic and facts?
Exactly. And yes, and she's still carrying that hate in her till this day. She is carrying it, and they want to say who's hateful and bitter, okay? Because I don't hate you, Jules. You don't even own that space in my head to hate you. I have completely forgotten about you until you went on this channel and started lying about me again and saying that I'm calling your work and I'm doing this and I'm destroying your livelihood and this and that. Nobody's talking about you. And BBT, you make me laugh when you say that, oh, Jules and I knew J Bells was an imposter. You forgot you hated Jules of Thought? Or you forgot those things.
She couldn't stand
there's a channel that has your clips, back then, BBT. That was when J Bells was here, and you said what'd you say? You called her ignorant. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Why don't you go listen? I think it's Deleted Drama Vault.
Yeah, I think that's on a video somewhere, Carol.
Yeah, Deleted Drama Vault has all that.
Yeah.
And so, BBT, you're delusional saying that you and Jules figured this out. And second of all, Jules never said a thing about J Bells until after the fact. And then she tried to capitalize by making some videos about it and how she knew everything, because she's always trying to capitalize on something. Right?
And anyone who out there who can't comprehend the fact that some people just can't let things go, just think of Amber Heard and the Johnny Depp trial. And Amber Heard just wanted to Johnny to leave her alone. But yeah, Amber Heard just can't let it go, and she's still going on. And you'd think after all of the facts and evidence that was put on trial for the whole world to see, and how much she lied and everything, yet she still maintains all of her lies and still won't let it go because they just don't. They can't lose. They can't be wrong. They have to have the last word. They have to be right.
Yeah.
So until there's accountability on their behalf, which tune in coming soon to a cinema near you.
That's the problem. I think she's trying to be relevant, and she's not. No one's hiring her right now.
Yeah, but yet she has followers that believe her. Despite all the evidence put out in front of them,
I think they just want that hate. But even some of them that her people said no. I mean, I'm sorry. If you listen to BBT, she says, I'm editing live videos. While I'm live, I am editing the videos. The stuff is so delusional that her own people have told her it's not true.
Oh my God.
Her own people have said, look, I've tried to give you the benefit of the doubt, BBT, but she is not editing the live videos. She is not doing this and she is not doing that. Okay? I can hate her, but she's not doing that. And she still can't take it.
No.
How do you edit a live video?
She says that I'm able to, that I'm not really sitting here with you when I'm live,
She's
that
got
I'm
these
really
bots
off
as well.
somewhere, and this is
But we're not even
pre-recorded,
people.
and I'm making you think that it's live.
We're not here?
No,
not
we're
there?
really
we're
not.
not
You're,
really,
you're
we're
all
bots.
bots, but now that you have voices, you're crisis actors.
Send me a
yeah.
check, please.
Yes, I
I
know.
was going to say, do they get paid well?
Yeah.
Oh dear
All
God.
about money.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's just crazy.
That's very true, SI002.
And BBT is only doing it for the PayPals.
Yeah, now that she got monetized, she never thought, so now it's, monetized. And I'm very surprised that she admitted when someone came in somewhere and said something that her children live with their father. I was surprised on that, but I guess she knows that people know. And I don't know if you know, BBT, you doxed your name multiple times. I just wonder if you know
And then
that.
she calls you out about your kids, and she hasn't even got her own.
Yeah, so
Make me sick, these people.
yeah, they're always, it's like Barbara Nellen too. I mean,
Unbelievable.
she wants to talk about my parenting, but then she let it loose on another thing that your children are estranged from you. And Barbara,
Yeah, look in your own backyard,
if you would
BBT.
just stop, you don't have to do that because you feel inadequate as a mother that you've got to point at another mother and say, oh, you're so bad because it makes you feel better. There's a problem. Clean up your side of the
think
street
it's
and
called
worry about
projecting.
your relationship with your kids instead of trying to pull another mother down and make yourself feel better.
Yeah, it's called projecting.
Mm-hmm.
If you turn everything that they say around and it's why they've got a problem with your kids, and then you realize, well, you don't even have your kids, that's probably where that sort of hate and jealousy is being born from.
And pulling apart my future daughter-in-law, Barbara Nellen, that's a little low. Yeah.
Sure, I see what you're saying, but sometimes, love, you have to clap back. Because there's only so much you can take sometimes,
It's kind of like that
I
show.
get what you're saying.
But you know
Remember
what?
that show,
You know
What
what,
Would You
Cheryl? Did you hear about the case today? And these people that were harassed and bullied to the point of self-harm said that all of that advice about ignoring this makes it get worse and that it doesn't get better. And you have to speak out about this because it cannot continue, and these forums have to stop it because it's disgusting what these people are doing.
And if no one says anything and everyone's just silent, it doesn't
And they
solve
can spew what they like, all the lies that they like.
And then people believe it because, that's
believe
exactly
it.
what people have said. They said, well, we're not hearing anything from you, Carolyn, so of course we're believing their lies.
Yeah.
Because they think you're
time
just,
for a bit of transparency.
yeah. And that's why we had to say what Lisa D and April and Moo and who was the other one that was in that thing with the letters that they were posting all over the place and trying to, the three of them that they were doing in Slack. And Lisa D, that was the dirtiest, nastiest thing. And you were caught the weekend before and you upped the ante the next weekend. And your silly little ignorant act that you like to do, like, ooh, did I do that?
Acting stupid. talking
Everybody
like a child.
saw through you.
Don't fall for it, love. We see right through you.
Yeah.
Fell for it before until you really expose yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The
I
masks
can also,
dramatically fall.
Cheryl, in the word, it also tells us that there's a time to be silent and stand still, and there are times to roar like a lion.
Right. And faith without works.
Sometimes roaring like a lion to set things straight and to tell the truth is not a bad thing.
Right. And
I
faith
was going to
without
say
works.
there's that
Yeah.
show.
Oh,
What Would
sure,
You
there's
Do?
nothing private anymore because of all the things they've said.
You know that show, What Would You Do?
You know?
And it puts people in situations, like moral situations, and it might be someone, being discriminated for their, their race and whatever. And it's like, would you just stand by and watch this vulnerable person, get attacked by another person? Or would you
Right.
stand up and say something?
Exactly.
That's all
And
it-
sure,
that's all we're doing
they've
here.
told so much stuff about Carolyn,
Mm-hmm.
about her family, her brothers, her mother, everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's an
you're
all-time
talking
low.
about
And Nana Patty's
private.
fine with that. If somebody going into somebody's obituary and making their own narrative and then patting that person on the back, and that's their hero. That's who Nana Patty's hero is. Lisa D's hero is somebody like Moo putting out all that crap, and somebody like
Please.
Pink Lady Luck, and people that are lying about how someone's son died, which is absolutely probably the lowest thing that you could
Yeah,
do.
absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Cheryl said that Jesus also said to turn the other cheek. Well, Carolyn's been doing that for years, and
Yeah,
you know,
look where it's got us.
nothing changes. If
It
nothing
also
changes.
says an eye
It's
for
gotten
an
worse.
eye,
It's gotten
doesn't
worse
it?
since she turned the other cheek.
Yeah. And it also says an eye for an eye, doesn't it? It also says faith without works, right?
You don't kick
And
someone
this is
when
not a
you're down.
revenge thing.
That's
This
not
is just
Christian.
revealing truths. That's all. So it's okay for them to be lying and slandering Carolyn all over the place.
No,
It's not okay for her
I
to
don't
defend
think she's
herself.
saying. I don't think she's saying that. I get what she's saying, but at the same time, truth is truth.
Yeah, it is, Debbie. They've
Right
gone
is
into
right,
every
wrong is wrong.
aspect of Carolyn's life and plastered it all over the internet. But it's the lying about her that's what sickens me, and the way she's been used and abused
No abuse, no excuse. Simple as that.
after she was so good to them.
And someone that, used the, we've seen it time and time again, the Ramblers' contact information for their own gain, to email people about starting a channel, that you're here to lie about me. And you know what? It'll all come back to you, because what you did is disgusting. And if you think you'll find success doing that, you might find a momentary success, but it's not going to be there, and it's not going to be good, because it was so underhanded. And I helped you guys, promoted you guys. I had your channels going up. Davida, I made you merch, which you never put up. I tried to help you with so many different things, tried to teach you so many different things. I was always so giving of whatever I wanted, you to have. Here, put this. I made her a merch shirt because I was worried that she wasn't earning money. I said, here, just put this on. People will buy it. It's very easy. All you have to do is go to Teespring. And I made her the whole graphic for Corn's sake, the whole thing. All she had to do was just open an account. That I couldn't do for her. And she didn't do it. And, promoted her channel here all the time. Did collaborations with her in order to help her get more subscribers. And all of that. And and then to have Mama Ames lie about me when all I've tried to do was to help her, and now she wants to say she was thrown out of Slack, and this. No, you were not. No, you were not thrown out of Slack. You asked to leave Slack twice.
Why do they lie like that?
Because
they get something out of it. They get something.
That lie.
Yeah, because they get something out of it.
Christians and using God. That really angers me. That leave God out of it when you're lying through your mouth.
Cheryl, you like watching my channel, but I've never even seen you until tonight. Never seen you. Isn't that funny? You think you would come when I'm doing all those things. Like I was baking cookies last night. I didn't see you there. I didn't see you any other time. But you're coming here and for the first time, and then you just want to tell me what I should be doing. Those are things that make you go,
Yeah. Things that make you go,
And here comes Emma. Emma, I've seen you around already. So, do you want to get blocked now, or do you want to wait till you say your first thing? Let Deborah Vancouverton know. Deborah, let her let you know whether she wants to get blocked now or she wants to say her first thing.
Yeah, we're fed up with these games. Anyway, it was good to get that off one's chest.
Yeah. Say something inside there. Here. Let's see who's there now. Oh, Margot's back. Margot's up from her nap.
That's exactly right, Anna.
It just makes you not trust people. That's the hardest part for me. People that you thought,
What?
you know.
Desi won't come in?
No.
I'll get
So I put
Desi.
them all out there right now. Well,
I'll
I think I got
I'll
it.
get Desi.
I put them all out. I put 'em all-
Well,
I made
Sarah,
pumpkin
thank you for
chocolate
being
chip
here.
cookies. Well, Silicone Emma, I've seen you in, I've seen some things that you've said, Silicone Emma. You don't think I know? I know a lot more than you give me credit for, Silicone Emma. Are you friends with Silicone Amy?
This doesn't work then. I'm getting all
What about silicon tits?
Thank you.
Silicone, I'm trying to think. Silicone Kathy, are you
She
friends with
she
her?
really stands out in the crowd.
Silicone Kathy, are you
Is there
friends with
someone
her?
called that?
Oh yeah, Silicone Emma's here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's friends with Silicone Kathy and Silicone Amy.
Yeah, no, I just remember silicon tits because she really stood out in the crowd. Like,
Yeah.
I thought you were joking.
Oh, okay,
I am.
Silicone Emma. Why don't you come up on panel then with us? Email me and I'll have you come up on panel. It must be another Silicone Emma. That's a shame that you guys have the same name because she's giving your name a bad rap. That's unusual. Hi, Peridot Eyes.
Hey, Peridot.
Hey, Peridot. How was the honeymoon?
Yeah.
Peridot, how's the honeymoon? You spending a bunch of your husband's money?
The honeymoon's over.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
Oh, probably is. I mean,
You know, I didn't get a chance. You know, I think yeah, I've got to. I apologize, Peridot. I've got to go through that link you gave me. Things have been a little bit nuts around here. I'll have to fill you in an email. But I was saving that for a really fun time to go look at that, and because I've been having a lot of hands full on a lot of different fronts. But I will do that, and I can't wait to see that. Hiya, Heart Made Wise.
I heard.
Back from the honeymoon, we need to hear. How's the store doing? You woke up, you're going to try to fall back to sleep. Okay, sorry. You've never tried pumpkin chocolate chip? You should, Rambling Recruiter. Rambling Recruiter, did someone tell me that, didn't Nicole tell me that Rambling Recruiter talks about crafts or something? Rambling Recruiter,
I just
you...
want to say a
Yeah.
totally unrelated thing. There was a thing once about what attracted men, like what smell and cologne, like all that sort of thing, and it was pumpkin pie.
Was it really?
So
Pumpkin pie.
yeah, that was the most. They did this massive like survey, and so yeah, pumpkin biscuits like with chocolate chips. Oh, that's just that's
Yeah.
Cupid right there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never eaten pumpkin, so
Can't go wrong. Make your man some cookies, and there's a bit of positivity in your life.
Yeah, and I'm going to be going on a road trip tomorrow.
nice one.
All by my little lonesome. Or maybe
We
not.
get to go.
Or maybe I'll be picking up Silicone Emma and Silicone Kathy, and they'll be going with me. Yeah, everybody, yeah. Well, the Zoom will get to go, and then I will go live at a certain point and show a really special place.
Oh, nice one. Look forward to that.
Yeah.
If you want to come on a road trip, become a member, come with us.
Yes.
I might even be stopping to pick up a couple of Schnauzer puppies and then a couple of golden
Eva.
retrievers.
Yowza.
Oh,
Maybe.
for doggy daycare.
Maybe I'm opening a doggy daycare. You know that, Sharon.
Well, I heard about them.
Well, yeah.
Very lucrative business.
And I've also been taking in dogs. I'm doing some pet sitting. And yeah, my daughter told me how profitable it is to be a dog sitter. And I couldn't believe it.
It's amazing. I can't believe it either. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It is. It's amazing, right?
They get crazy, man.
Sharon is starting to take in cats.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
go back. Here in the door,
Right, Linda.
And
And I might be taking in some llamas, and they might just be sitting in the front seat.
yeah, lots of no drama llamas.
No drama llamas, though.
drama.
They're going to have signs. No drama
The
llamas.
llamas come drama free.
I might be starting an alpaca farm. I don't know. I do crazy things sometimes.
That'd make you the
Well,
mama
you sell
llama.
that. You sell that yarn. You can get extra.
I can, extra.
On top.
Whoa.
And you can board alpacas and sheep for people that live in the city, and they
Could do
knit.
raccoons as well.
Yeah, you could, but you've got to have your extra rabies shots on that.
Alpacas, all these animals into my car.
I'll be packing it in.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
that's
lights,
amazing.
please.
That's going to be a new.
Hi,
license
Moonchild
plate.
Pink. I haven't
Mama
seen you in
llama.
a long time. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, no drama llamas.
No, you're the mama llama.
But yeah, it'll be fun. And what did Peridot have, Lorky? Liza, were meant to say it's so beautiful at my desk. What was that? A Peridot something? At her desk? What did Peridot get? Peridot, I saw this ring the other day and I was like, oh my gosh. But it said it was Peridot and I forgot. But I didn't know whether it was a man or a woman's ring. But it was Peridot and it was like, what was that? It's cute.
Carolyn is saying hello to you too, Scooter.
Oh, hi,
I mean,
Carolyn.
no, Scooter.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yes. Hi, Scooter. I was saying hi, Carolyn. Hi,
Brilliant,
Scooter.
Hey, Scooter.
Hello, Scooter. Nice of you to come in.
What does pumpkin taste like? I've never eaten it.
What is it?
Now, what does it taste like?
Pumpkin? You've never eaten it?
Yeah. Never, ever.
Are you serious?
Oh, wow.
You
I
don't
swear
have
to God.
you don't have pumpkin pie over there?
No. Ugh. Even the sound of that.
Oh my
I-
gosh,
no.
we have to send you.
You need
We're gonna
to
have to
bake
send
it
you
and dry it.
tinned pumpkin then.
Oh my
Oh my God,
gosh.
I've never seen or heard of tin
Seriously?
pumpkin. I swear to God.
Do you have pumpkins on Halloween?
We do. We just cut them out and put the eyes in it.
And
we
nobody
can't
ever
eat.
toasts the seeds or makes pumpkin pie?
Never. No.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness,
Throw it in the
Carol.
bin. Yeah.
Throw it in the
I don't
bin.
know what you're doing.
See, I love that. I'm starting to use all those words. Throw it in the bin. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to start to use like trolley, the shopping trolley. And what was the other word?
Trolley, yeah.
Oh, yes, the fire brigade instead of the
The
fire
fire
department.
brigade.
Yes. Do you call it the police?
Wait, you never heard of the fire brigade?
What? No. Do you
Road
call it?
big.
Well, only from you guys. Do you call it the police brigade?
No, we just call them. Well, they're called Garda here. It's an Irish word for a policeman.
Oh,
for a
the
cop.
police. Okay.
Yeah.
And
We
the
say
bin.
fire
Cops,
brigade too.
cops, we call them.
I just like
Or
just
Garda.
throw it in the bin. That sounds like better than throw it in
or
the trash.
fire it in the bin. One or
Now,
the other.
now, what
Or
about
throw
when
that
you?
in the bin or
but,
fire it in the bin?
but what about when you say take the trash out? What do you say?
You take the rubbish out.
Take the rubbish out. Okay.
Yeah.
Always rubbish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put it in the bin and take the rubbish out. I've got to
Yeah.
remember.
Throw it in the bin. Throw it in the bin.
We say bin it. We say you can bin that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Bin that.
Yeah. Say that too.
The
I just had to ask.
Yeah,
I've got to remember that.
pumpkin pie filling, if you don't have canned pumpkin, is to take a sweet potato and bake it and then, dig out
Oh,
the inside.
you mean that's
add-
sweet potato pie?
No, just the filling, just the filling, and just add butter, cinnamon,
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
nutmeg,
Yeah.
and
Well,
Yes.
is pumpkin not a vegetable? I thought it was a vegetable.
it is.
Yes, but
You know what? You turn it sweet, is it? You
Yeah.
make it into
yeah.
something sweet.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pumpkin is
I
a
don't like
squash.
sweet potatoes with junk
But it's
in
not
them.
even
I
that
think-
sweet though. It's not even that sweet. But like as a kid, I thought, oh, I'm not gonna like that. But you do, and you put a little whipped cream on top of it, and it, yeah.
And sugar. And sugar.
No, there's a little sugar in the pie, but
No.
there's cinnamon
Yeah.
and like nutmeg and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nutmeg.
What does
Curiosity
it
is killing
taste
this
like?
kitty.
I mean, what does it?
It's
what
very
fruit or
good.
vegetable does it taste like? Sorry?
It's
Good.
potato with all the junk added. So add nutmeg.
It's not very
cinnamon,
sweet, but it's good.
butter. Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And brown
But
sugar.
does it compare to any other vegetable or fruit?
Yeah, sweet potato.
It's
Oh,
hard
sweet
to.
potato.
Do you have sweet potato over there?
Yeah, oh yeah, we get. I don't buy them now. I mean, I got them once and I just couldn't. I can't.
Really?
You put it in a
And
pie?
you're the land of potatoes over there, Carol.
Yeah, but not sweet ones. Sweet, you just eat normal ones.
I think Kat's had a question, Kat.
With salt and butter or gravy or whatever, you know. I mean, that would be like putting sugar on a as I call it, you know, on a potato. I just ugh.
No. It's nothing like a potato. Like no.
Ew.
That would be gross. Like if you would say you
Oh, I
made
don't know. Sugar on
no,
a potato.
just
I
like
don't know.
Yukon Gold potato pie. That would be disgusting.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can't just do that with a
No.
potato. No.
No.
And they don't even make
Like
they don't
pie,
even make
what
like
fun.
butternut squash pie. They do make sweet potato pie. God, I learned that on Good
Really?
Times. Good
Yes.
Oh my
Times, temporary.
God,
I
yeah.
learned a lot on Good Times. You know, I didn't know a lot of stuff that was
No, well,
happening on
well,
Good
a
Times.
sweet potato pie. Yes, if it was savoury, and it
Yeah,
was like
What?
a meat pie or something.
Oh my God,
It
it's
might
so
be nice
good.
that.
No, but I learned
Ew.
about sweet potato pie because Florida used to make that for the
It's so
the
good.
maintenance guy, and he used to love it. What was his name? Buckner or something like that. Bookman. Yeah,
Well, was that a savoury dish, Carla?
sweet potato pie is like pumpkin pie, but it's a little bit different.
So it's sweet.
It's a
as well.
very southern sweet potato pie.
So,
So
rambling
would you eat it
like
as a
butternut
dessert or
Oh
what?
yeah,
As a
yeah,
dinner?
no, you'd eat it as a dessert, sweet potato pie. And Florida,
God, I can't
Florida
visualize
made that
that
all
now.
the time. Florida, on Good Times.
Have you ever had sweet potato like the roast chips, with sour cream and sweet chili sauce?
No.
No.
No, but that sounds nice.
So
actually.
it's
don't
like
know.
roast potato. It's like roast potato, but you do in the wedges. Oh, that's it. Sweet potato wedges. That is
Well, that
heavenly.
sounds
Very
good. You mean
yummy.
they're like potato
Very-
That
wedges,
does
but they're
sound
sweet
nice.
potato.
I would. Go
Wedges, yes.
You can
Oh
mix.
my
You
gosh.
can mix
Are they
seeded
just
mustard,
Yeah.
like what are they
seeded mustard,
sweet?
orange juice, and honey, and put it on the sweet potatoes and bake them.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's
So
heavenly.
good. So
Keep it-
good.
Can I just
Yeah.
ask something as well? This is like absolutely killing me.
Patty LaBelle made a
Um,
good sweet potato pie, and they sell them at Walmart and Sam's. Katrina, I don't think I've ever seen Patty LaBelle's pies. Maybe they're not up this way. I'm in the Northeast.
We've got them here.
You have them, Sharon? Patty LaBelle?
We don't have them in Massachusetts. at
We
all.
don't have them
What
here.
kind of pie?
She said that they make good sweet potato pie, and they sell them at Walmart and Sam's during the
I
holidays.
remember when that was
See, I
happening.
should love something like that because I love potatoes, but I just
Do they
couldn't
ever get
because.
this one?
What?
Ask them if they like this right here.
What?
I said I remember when Patty LaBelle had her sweet potato pie at Walmart.
Cozy
I don't
Shack.
remember that ever. I really don't. Patty
Yeah,
LaBelle.
Rambling Recruiter, I don't
You
even
guys-
know what butternut squash is.
Do you guys
Cat
like
Candace
Cozy
up.
Shack?
Cat Candace up.
Unfortunately.
Jimmy would like to know if anybody eats this.
That or the rice
Yes,
pudding?
my kids do.
The rice
Right,
pudding
so this is
delicious.
embarrassing. What's butternut squash?
What is
My
it?
kids do. My
Cozy
kids do.
Shack
Tapioca pudding.
tapioca.
It's great stuff.
Yes.
I do not eat this, nor do
No.
I eat rice pudding, and he likes
Oh,
both.
tapioca is gorgeous.
And he likes
I like
and he
rice
likes
pudding.
flan.
Well, my
Jimmy
mother
likes
used to make-
flan, tapioca, and rice pudding.
Oh, so do I. Gorgeous.
Yeah,
Cat
No,
Candace
that's a
up.
dessert.
Tuna
Cat
fish.
Yes, I
Candace
like
up.
Right,
it.
guys.
Tuna fish.
Cat's hand is up.
Oh, I just really want to know, Katrina King
Hi.
made a comment earlier on, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to sleep until I understand this. She said pumpkin tastes like heaven, especially in coffee.
Oh, she
How
means
does that work?
pumpkin spice
Yeah.
coffee. She means just the flavoring and the pumpkin spice coffee that's around now. Do you have that in your country?
You mean there's a pumpkin flavor?
And
Yeah.
what about
Do you have that?
blonde? What about the
What's
custard
that?
blonde?
Oh,
Do
you
you
buy
got-
it in the tin. Do you not make it yourself?
This is-
Wait, can I ask you something? To you guys in Australia and Carol in Ireland?
Oh, definitely.
do-
But I make it from
Do
the
you have
blackest
Dunkin'?
kernel.
Do you have Dunkin' Donuts, like something like that? You have Starbucks there?
Yeah, we have Starbucks. We have Dunkin' Donuts. They came into Ireland.
Okay,
in
but do
Dublin.
they sell the pumpkin spice coffee?
I don't. I never go in there.
I
never
don't
go
like
near
the
the place.
pumpkin spice coffee.
I wouldn't waste money in there.
Well,
Coffee's about
can
4
I
or
ask
5
you that,
euros.
whatchamacall, Cats, do they have that by you?
What?
Dunkin',
Oh,
pumpkin spice
I don't know
coffee?
if they're Dunkin'. Hold on, I need to.
I think it's a different name. We don't.
Yeah, it might
technically
have a.
But do you
Oh,
have pumpkin spice coffee? And your cat has two different eyes. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
have Dunkin' Donuts here.
Yeah,
Staring
it
me down with those two different colored eyes.
It's pretty.
Okay.
She's so
I
pretty.
didn't even know that was a thing. Like, I'm still a bit baffled about the pumpkin flavor.
Oh, so they don't have that. You don't. Do you have Starbucks there, Cats? You do, right?
I remember we used to have one, but it's no longer there anymore.
Where do you go for coffee if you wanted to go out for coffee to like a place like that?
Into the kitchen, Carla. Into
Tim-
the kitchen.
Don't tell me. Tell Nicole that.
There's lots of.
I go out to get
cafes.
drinks because I don't. It's not as good when I have it at home.
It must cost you a fortune. Just buy an expensive coffee, girl.
I know, but it's not the same when I make it. It's
Get a
when someone else
Keurig.
makes it.
Get a
Oh my
Keurig.
God! If I had a coffee shop living next door, I'd survive just on you alone.
Yeah, I have a coffee shop next door, and this is everything right there, like the Dollar Tree and Dollar General, and there's some wine.
Now,
I
for
don't know how
one
you
pump
do it. I
in the
couldn't do that every day.
PSL, that's what is in the
Carol
PS.
Lucy's like a double espresso shot.
What is the
even
PSL? I need to
Starbucks. The
bring you
coffee
with
at
me,
Starbucks
Katrina
is
King, because
disgusting.
I go to Starbucks. Usually I'm disappointed with the coffee, but one time I just asked
Oh, I
for a
hate their
regular
coffee.
coffee. I know, sometimes it's too strong, right? I've
No,
asked
I
for
love it.
a regular coffee with just cream, and it was so good that one time. But a lot of times I get it, and it tastes burnt and horrible, and
Yeah.
too strong.
Yeah.
Because I'm not
I
a
like
real,
Hudson
I don't like a real strong
Coffee at the
coffee.
airport.
I like a
yeah,
nice
we have
mild.
Dunkin' Donuts here,
coffee.
and
Right.
when
Anyone
they
had
came,
Hudson's coffee at the airport?
No, a Tim
Any
No.
Aussies? No.
No, Tim
That's
Hortons.
nice, Hudson's.
No, I've never heard of Hudson's.
Yeah.
Rambling Recruiter was comparing butternut squash to pumpkin. So
You
that
know
Carol
why I
could
don't like an
understand.
espresso
Yes.
is because you've
I was
got to
just
buy
thinking-
those pods are not available all the time, and plus a lot of the coffees that I like come in K cups and not Nespresso pods, and I just
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I have an espresso machine, but I don't use it.
You have a Nespresso machine? Wait, not an espresso
I
machine.
do, and a milk frother.
buy a coffee
Yeah.
machine.
No, do you have a Nespresso machine or an espresso machine?
No, an espresso.
Oh, okay.
espresso
Well, she's
machine, not
talking about a
Nespresso.
Nespresso machine.
Yeah, buy yourself a good coffee machine, Nicole. You'd have the money saved in a week. Seriously.
Right, the Captain Lee fan. Jimmy uses those creamers all the time.
And you know what you're drinking. You know what's going into it.
But we
I-
use bottled water for everything because there's a lot of iron in the tap water, and I just don't trust it. So I use bottled water for my coffee maker too. So
why don't you
But
get
you
a
could
full
still
filtration
use
system
bottled
put in your,
water in
put
your
in your
coffee
kitchen
maker because it has a
for your
reservoir,
water.
and then you can put your bottled water in it.
Get a water softener. You'll be
I'll
there.
think about it.
Yeah,
It's
you
gonna
can buy
take
a
a while
system
for me to. I'll think about it over coffee in the morning from Dunkin's.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, Nicole.
You know what, Nicole?
I love you
listen,
too.
listen to this. This might help you, Nicole. Right? Get like a
Good after,
get like a
Nicole.
box with a little slot on the top, right? And every time you have coffee at home,
I put money in it.
take
the
what
money
you
in it.
would spend at Dunkin'
Yeah.
and pop it in there, right? Every time, go get your coffee, pop it in there. and then see what you have at the end of the month.
You'd be shocked, Nicole.
Oh,
You
yeah.
spend it all on Dunkin'. I'm kidding. I love their coffee.
It was the Dunkin'
I love
Donuts
their
opened up here
coffee.
about 3 years
If I
ago,
could
and I'm not
afford it.
joking,
Starbucks
you
makes
girls. There was
pods. You can get 'em at
the queues. It was insane, but it's all calmed down now.
Yeah, but I don't have.
Maybe I'll go to.
Forget
Maybe
the
I'll-
coffee, it's all about the donuts.
Yeah, well, not here though. Here
It
it's
was
all about the
insane
coffee.
here, but it's all calmed down. No queues anymore. But for the first couple of weeks, people were traveling
Oh,
from all
pumpkin
over
spice
the country
latte.
to buy the donuts. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was a joke. I mean, my kids forced me to queue up as well. I mean, the queue was a mile long, and I think it was like 25 euros for whatever, a box of donuts, you know? And there was no big deal about them, like. I couldn't
have Tim
understand
Hortons
what's all the
here.
excitement about
That's
food.
expensive for a box of donuts.
Yeah, I can't remember how many was in it now. But there was, maybe there was
Donuts
12
are
in it.
expensive now. They're like, what are
You
they?
know?
A dozen. They're a lot of money now.
They're like $15 a dozen or
There
something.
might have been only, yeah, there might have been only 12 in it. I can't remember. I remember thinking I'm never again coming here, ever.
Really? Sometimes Pudding says she's addicted to Starbucks. Sometimes once at least once, sometimes
I
twice
can't
a day.
drink
I don't eat donuts very often. Maybe once a year.
And drinking like calories, like
You're showing the U.S. on these expensive Civil War blankets. Wow, they've been loomed using old Civil War type looming machines, and ran about $300 each. Wow, where'd you get them from? $300.
Not my brother's.
I like buttermilk donuts. They don't have good ones here.
I love custard donuts.
Oh, I have never had a buttermilk donut or a custard donut.
Oh, come on! You've never had a you live in Boston and you've never had a Boston cream donut?
Oh, Boston cream, yeah,
Well,
Boston cream.
that's what she means by custard. That's what she's talking, custard.
Oh, okay. But it has to have chocolate on the top.
Boston cream
No.
is white filling and custard is the yellowish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right, and if you get the Bavarian cream, that's the one that a lot of people don't like when they think they're getting a Boston cream. It's different.
Really? What's the
Yeah.
Bavarian cream?
The Bavarian cream is just like a vanilla whipped cream.
Oh,
that goes
yeah.
inside, And you can get it in vanilla or chocolate, and then the Boston cream is strictly the custard with the chocolate on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there'd be no custard or chocolate on top of the ones if I was ever buying one.
And you know what
Just
like a
icing.
Krella is, but it's not that, it's a
Oh,
Kreller
Preller, yeah.
with the
We call
R.
them tractor tires here.
Well,
Yeah, it's like a curly
Lemonfield
donut.
is my favorite.
What, Debbie?
Lemonfield is my favorite.
Oh, lemon.
Boston
Yeah.
My
cream
brother's favorite is
pie.
the lemon filled, yeah. The jelly
love
donuts
lemon
are
meringue.
good too.
Yeah,
Lemon meringue. It's so
chocolate
easy to make at home, lemon meringue.
The nutty donuts. are
The
like-
Polish donuts they have, the Ponsky or whatever it is, those are
Punchki.
so Punchki. They're
Punchkis.
so good. Those are
Where?
way
They
better
have them
than
at Dunkin' Donuts?
No.
Oh.
They originated here and it's for Lent.
Oh my gosh. You
Berlin,
know what I
yeah.
just realized?
Really big. They're like baseballs.
It's apple picking season, but I bet you the apples are going to stink this year.
Yeah.
I bet you they're going to be
Yeah.
terrible because everything is terrible this year with the
Yeah, and
growing.
mine are. I've had apple tree out the back.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of black spots on them. I need to pick them actually.
We were in a drought all
You
summer.
know, Jimmy,
What?
we have to go apple picking, and I bet the apple picking is going to be bad.
Maybe.
Yeah, but you'll get enough to make
Hi.
you know.
Apple pie and ice cream.
Where did we
Yeah,
go
well, that's-
last
or
year? We went
fresh
somewhere weird last year. I wasn't happy with it, I don't think.
Yeah, we're not good.
Or apple crumble is
No, I
lovely,
think it
isn't
was the same place we went the year before. No, was it? Oh, I don't even remember which place it was. The place before that was horrible, but the very first place was good.
Remember when we went with had the giant out there, the big guy?
Yeah, that was the.
And what about the one we had hot peppers and everything else there too? Remember that one?
Yeah, I think that was. I think that was the place. The fair. Yeah, and it's not that Roba's. Maybe we should try. I don't know. That's where we went.
What
We went
else
for
do you do with
pumpkins.
your apples, Carolyn, that you pick?
Well, I just eat them. I love apples this time of
Oh, you
year,
just eat
but I
them.
love a good. It has to be a good crisp apple. Like the worst thing for me, you get an apple and it's
Mushy.
like, ugh, or mealy, or like starchy.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't.
Yeah, but you could cook with those. I mean, you could do other things with them.
Ugh,
No, you can't. If they're
they're
mealy,
caca, Carol. You just gotta get rid of them.
I've never, yeah.
And you gotta,
I
caca.
have an
And,
apple out the back, and
ugh.
I never ever used them. And I said to myself this year, because they're like they were supposed to be golden delicious when the tree was planted years ago. But I leave them on the tree, and the birds eat them during the winter.
Sometimes the golden delicious have a real weird taste to them. To me, I don't know what it is.
They're kind of nice, but these are like they're like medium size. Like they kind of look like a golden. They're nothing like what you buy. Like they're half the size of what they're supposed to be. But there's black dots on a lot of them now.
And they
But
charge you
that
like
aren't either.
crazy for the Honey Crisp. If you want the Honey Crisp, even at the orchards, they're like, oh, okay, and the Honey Crisp is over there, and that's like $10 a dozen. I mean, it's like five times the price of every other apple there.
Yeah. Well, I ate one of my own for the first time about a week ago, and it was grand. So it wasn't kind of what did you call it, Sharon? Mealy or something?
Mealy,
I mean, it
yeah.
was edible. So if it's edible,
Mushy. She
that's
said
good enough for
mushy.
me.
But it's like sometimes you just
Oh, no, it
bite it,
wasn't mushy.
and it's not crispy. It's got to be crispy. It's got to be
Yeah.
hard, and you can't have a mushy apple or yeah.
I know, I have to laugh that my son only planted a tree last year. And you want to see the apples he got on it this year, I couldn't believe it. And the tree is small, like, but it had plenty of blossoms, this year, and he got beautiful apples off it, like proper green, red ones.
Yeah, you want an apple that's got
There's like 100 different kinds of apples in New York.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got the
No,
wines.
yeah,
You've got the
yeah.
wine sap apple. You got the Empire apple. Your Macintosh apple.
You gotta put an apple.
We're getting
Yeah.
more and more as
The
time
red
goes on.
delicious apple, the Honey Crisp apple, the Pink Lady apple, the Jazz apple,
Yeah, they
the
didn't have all that when I was a kid.
Gala
They
apple.
had Macintosh.
yeah, Gala, I like
Delicious.
Gala.
Yeah.
So do I.
Are they the red ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
keep coming up with
The
more
Granny
and more.
Smith
Granny
apple,
Smith,
the
they're
Yellow
green.
Delicious, the Red
Granny
Delicious.
Smith are good for pies. I made a pie one time.
Yeah, Granny Smiths are a bit sour.
Yeah, I like the sour though sometimes too, and Ethan loves the sour, and so does Michael. Love the sour. I love the sour.
Got
like my
raspberries and apples now up there.
I mean, I like
And
it in,
next month you'll have broccoli and bean
Remember
sprout.
pie, honey?
Mhm.
You can tell 'em, right?
Not bean
Ooh, I
sprout,
do too,
Brussels
Deborah
sprout.
Bean Coburn.
The best ones to bake with are the Cortland, I think, but that's just me.
Yeah, the cooking apples. Yeah.
Yeah.
Broccoli fields look like little trees, little forests.
Oh, broccoli's good.
And I was telling you that Costco makes its pies with the Hubbard squash.
Right, and I asked
What?
that lady about the
Costco
Hubbard.
what? Does what? The covered squash?
Makes their
Their
pies with
their
Hubbard
pumpkin
squash.
pies.
Yeah,
That's why they're so good.
Huh. Well, we had the Hubbard squash all the time when I was a kid, because there were 10 of us in the family, so,
It's a big pod,
Oh, yeah,
big bumpy
I love
pod.
squash.
Oh, what a blessing, Robbity Bob. Well, wish her a happy birthday for us and
Aw.
many, many more. We're
Happy
praying for
birthday.
her.
That's sweet. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to her.
Birthday.
Yeah, a
Come on,
battler.
Bob,
Yeah,
big
she
Bob,
definitely
make
is,
you a
Robbity
watch
Bob.
movie.
She's a fighter, and we're praying for her.
Yeah,
We are, yeah.
always. That's sincere. Our prayers are very sincere.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not just slide by
Oh,
night.
yes.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. What does Nicole say? Happy birthday. But there's a lot of different kinds of apples.
Lots of, like maybe 143 different kinds.
Apples, peaches, pumpkin pie.
Did you
Do
guys
you go
know?
to an orchard, Carolyn?
Yes,
Peaches,
yes, and
pumpkin pie.
yeah, I think I have videos up, Carol, of me in the orchards doing the apple picking.
Here we go.
That's
Apples,
great. I
peaches,
should do
pumpkin
that.
pie.
Today.
Yeah, you're allowed to eat as many apples
as
as you want in there when you're out there.
Yeah, we're able
Now
to
that
do it.
comes
Yeah,
to my
there's a few
head,
strawberry
Carol.
places you could do that here in Ireland
You go like
at
this.
the certain
That's
times
not
of the
too
year.
good.
But sure, and what happens is that you'll eat loads when you're in there, and then you'll buy a couple of punnets, and you come home with the punnets, and you can't look at them then for the rest of the week.
Oh no, I can because I love them. I eat so many in there, and
God,
I
I don't
just
know how
keep
many times we
getting
do that.
more. But we
Yeah,
should
deer
bring
will
that
eat them.
folding wagon this time.
And the deer
No,
will
we
eat
know
them, and they
honey.
seem drunk after they start eating all the crap out.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because the
God.
last time, remember the bag got so heavy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody wanted to lug it around.
But how do you store the apples then? How long would they last for
They
you?
give you a big bag, like a huge bag, and then you can eat as many as you want and pick as many as you want.
Some of them.
Right, and then how do you store them so they don't go off and stuff?
I don't know. I eat a lot of apples, so we never had a problem. Only one year we went to this crazy place, and there were a lot of yellow delicious, and they went bad right away. And I called the place, and I was like, "What's the deal?" And they said, "Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. There's something." But it was not good, and we never went back to that place again.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's a
That's why
giant.
I was going to pick the apples on my tree, and then I thought, well, I could store them in the garbage, but then they'd probably all go off.
Some people put them in what they call cold storage or something. I don't know. Yeah, something like
Well,
that.
you can live off the applesauce. It's so good. It's golden brown. It's just so good.
That's a good idea, Linda. I could
You
freeze that
just melt them. You just
applesauce.
get them to go.
Make
melt
applesauce
or-
like that Baby
yeah.
Boone movie, and she was making the applesauce with all the apples, and then she went into business making baby food.
Oh wow, are you serious?
Yeah. Did you ever see that with Diane Keaton?
No.
Baby Boom from the 80s. She
Wow,
inherited
no.
a baby from her cousin that died, and then she didn't know what to do because she was this New York executive, and then she ended up moving. She broke up with her boyfriend, and she moved to Vermont, and she moved on this farm. I don't know why. I forget why she got to the farm, but she had all these apple trees, and she didn't know what to do with them. There were so many apples,
Right.
and she just started making applesauce for her baby that she inherited, and then everybody was
Yeah.
saying it was so good, and then she was an executive, so she just started this big, huge
Fair
business.
play to her.
Yeah.
So that's based on a true story.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's
Oh
funny.
my
It's
God,
a
Jesus! I thought you were giving me a real.
No.
Put a lot of whipped
no, but
cream.
it's a funny movie. It's a funny
I get
movie.
you now. Right.
Carol,
You remember
can
that
make
movie,
apple
Liza?
pie and ship them over.
Do you remember why
I
she bought the
certainly
farm?
remember.
I'd like to watch that movie again. I haven't seen that in ages.
Me either. I haven't seen that.
She didn't know
movie
what
yet.
to do with the baby. She had no idea. And of course, she just
I don't think
inherits
I
the
ever saw
baby.
that movie.
You know, like, oh, here's your baby you inherited from your cousin. And she's like, what am I going to do with this? And she was like in an airport or something. She had no idea.
Well, geez, that reminds me of the film with Woody Allen and I can't remember who else was it. Oh, the English actress, what's her name? Julie Walters, is that her name? Oh, it's a hilarious film, and they're planning on robbing the bank next door, and they set up.
Oh, yes.
They set up the cookie shop or the cake shop.
Oh,
or
yes,
whatever
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
And she starts making a fortune out of all the, and they're still going ahead with robbing the bank.
Yeah,
It was
right,
so
yes,
funny, that film.
yes, I remember that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Or the one with the money pit where they bought that house and how could it be so cheap, and then everything was going wrong with it with Tom Hanks, remember?
That bathtub falls through.
So it's like my
scene.
house, I think,
So
sometimes.
funny.
Or Funny Farm with Chevy Chase when they bought that big estate down out in New England or something, and they're like, how could this be so cheap? And he's like, I can write my book here, and this is everything's so perfect. Yeah.
Is that what the dog likes to run?
Yeah, and the mailman comes by and he just throws the mail or something. Like he would just throw it, and yeah. And they were like, and then when they were trying,
comedies like they used to.
and then they were trying to sell the house, so they had to make it be idyllic. So they would get the deer, and they'd be like, cue the deer, to come in, like while the people were looking at the house. Remember that? So I always say that, cue the deer,
A little
cue the
bit.
deer. Yeah.
Hey, these pies are good.
The what?
I remember the money pit.
I'll give
2
Rocky a
weeks.
Cue
That
the
was a
deer.
very funny movie. They don't make movies that funny anymore.
Anybody ever watch?
They don't.
Anybody ever watch? It's a mad world. Where
Yes, I love that.
They had to get. They're trying to get $25,000 under the W. Or something
No,
like
I
that.
never saw that.
They're all traveling across the country, crashes, and I think Jackie Gleason, and all kinds of funny people are in it. I
Well,
watched.
it's a mad world.
Yeah,
They should make a song about that.
Mad world.
I know.
But
Hiatus
speaking of
Grove.
fruit, did you guys know that the bananas they're running out of species like they're you know the bananas we had when we were kids, they don't have them anymore. They're done, and they keep trying to beat whatever's decimating the bananas. You know, they keep you know, if you notice sometimes you can't hardly get you can't break the thing off too easy. You know, it's just what's going on with the bananas now. They're trying to their best to keep up with, get us some bananas, but there's something that's decimating the banana crop. And so just you know.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. They're not the same banana. Don't you notice that they're hard to
No,
open?
they're not. I mean, they're not the same bananas as we had when we were
they're hard.
kids. They hardly have any taste.
Hard to open. Yeah.
And
I usually only like bananas when they have little brown spots on them. That's when I like them. I don't like them if they're not ripe or like they're just I can't hard. Like I don't know.
I like mine green.
Really?
Crunchy.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
I like them extra sugary.
Oh, Mike does too.
It's because they're constantly. Oh, Peridot says it's because they are constantly fighting a fungus, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh.
I knew it was something. It's you know, they keep doing the best to keep
Everything's
up.
GM. God move over.
Maybe one day
You're
we'll have
welcome to
bananas.
come anytime, Katrina.
Yeah.
That film was called Small Time Crooks, Carla. It was Tracy Ullman, not Julie Waters. I got
Covering the
mixed up with the
overnight
actresses.
storm updates. This made my night. Oh, the overnight. Okay, great. Thanks for coming by. Come on in anytime. We're usually here. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Jesus, girl.
Big back shows.
I remember watching that all the time. That's what they would always say.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I
they
haven't
always
read that
left
long
you. And you know what? I was always like, I remember, I didn't really like sci-fi or anything, but I would like the Batman, the old Batmans, and they would be on after I was in third grade, and they would be reruns. They weren't and they would always leave it with like, do you remember like the saw going, and they'd have like the cat, somebody's head, like Batman's head was right up about the saw, and then they would stop it and they'd say, find out what happens on the net, and I would say, oh gosh, every single time
God,
it
I
ends
hated
there,
Batman.
as if there was like, of course it's going to end there. They want you to come back the next week, you know, the next day, and I'd go, and I'd really be worrying about it for a little bit, like, is Batman's head going to get chopped off? And then I'd
Oh
say,
my God.
no, it's not. It's
Kind
going
of
to
on
start,
would be
and
bad.
it's going to be fine. Same bat channel, same bat time. Yeah. Yeah.
It's on when we got home from school.
Batman, and then you had Catwoman.
I hated that.
Oh, me too, but I
God.
watched it and I learned to like it. Oh.
Did you? No, my brothers used to watch
See,
it.
and I liked it, which is very odd for me because I wouldn't like something like that normally, but I liked that. I liked Batman.
Yeah.
You
I'm sure
Yeah.
those days you'd watch
Ow,
it. It was so
damn.
huge channels.
Wow.
Yeah.
No. It was
Those are
always
good old days. They don't have anything good
there's
on
always
them.
something. They always had like the saw or something. Hey Jimmy, did you hear about this guy that chopped off his leg in front of his 5-year-old daughter with a chop saw?
Ah, Jesus. What?
Yeah.
And how the hell, and he left his leg in the chop saw, and the police found him naked outside his house.
Oh my God. In front of his child.
Yes.
Bleeding to death.
Yes.
Is he on drugs?
Oh, yeah.
He had to be on drugs.
I don't know. But this 5-year-old is like completely shattered from it.
He'd be traumatized for life.
And the wife,
Oh,
the
yeah.
wife
Yeah.
said she left the house, Carol, because she thought he was going to kill her. But they said, why did you leave your 5-year-old daughter? And she goes, I wasn't worried about my 5-year-old daughter.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
I'm totally serious.
Oh, she's some mother. My God.
They're both
Where did
arrested.
that happen? Where did that happen? Midwest?
Where did that? No, I think it happened. Didn't it happen in Michigan?
No. Did it?
I'm going to
No.
check it out. I'm pretty sure.
The Oopers.
Let me see.
Jeez, I can't believe she left the child there.
The Upers, right.
The Oopers. Oops.
Upers. Upper Peninsula.
She'll be done now for negligence or something, will she?
Let's
What do you
see.
think?
Arkansas.
I knew it wasn't.
Midwest, yeah.
Yes, Arkansas. Yep.
Imagine what that 5-year-old would think of her mother when she's older.
Can't even imagine.
I don't know. Was he trying to
Man claimed he was Jesus Christ and then Satan before cutting off his leg in a chop saw.
Oh man.
And the mother took off running and left the child there.
Yeah, because she said he told her, I'm going to twist your head off and kill you. And she's like, I'm getting out of here because he's acting weird, but I'm going to leave my 5-year-old with him.
Unbelievable.
People are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but imagine if he had killed that child.
And then tell the police, I wasn't worried about my daughter. I don't care. I didn't care about my daughter. Something to that effect. Yeah, I wasn't worried about it. Yeah, nice.
That's amazing.
Well, I hope yeah. Say no more.
Katrina King, where are you? Where do you do that from? I mean, what kind of stories do you do?
Did he die, Carolyn?
No.
Just the weather or?
Oh my gosh. Another thing in Arkansas. Listen to this. Chief operating officer arrested for biting man's nose after an Arkansas football game. What's going on? What's going on in Arkansas?
Arkansas said to Florida, hold my
Some in the water in Arkansas. What the heck is going on?
And it was called Beyond Meat. You know Beyond Meat? Isn't that the vegan
my
place?
husband uses that.
Wait, listen. The chief operating officer of Beyond Meat is suspended following his arrest on Saturday for allegedly punching a man and biting his nose in a road rage incident.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Doug Ramsey, 53, was charged with terroristic threatening and third-degree battery after a University of Arkansas football game in Fayetteville. According to a preliminary report, an officer was called to Gate 15 of the Razorback Stadium for an incident that had taken place in the parking garage. When he arrived, he reported finding 2 males with bloody faces. The officer spoke with both men and a witness. According to the report, which said Ramsey, driving a Bronco, was in the traffic lane to exit the parking garage when a Subaru inched his way ahead of the Bronco and made contact with the front passenger side tire. At that point, Ramsey allegedly got out of his vehicle and punched through the back windshield of the Subaru. The Subaru driver got out of his vehicle and told the officer that Ramsey pulled him close and started punching his body. Then the report said Ramsey bit the owner's nose where he ripped the flesh on the tip of the nose. Oh my gosh. Both the victim and the witness told the officer they heard Ramsey threaten to kill the Subaru owner. Passengers in both vehicles got out and separated the 2 men. Ramsey joined Beyond Meat in December of 2021 after leaving Tyson Foods, where he worked since 1992. He was named head of the company's McDonald's supply business in 2019. Ramsey, who lives in Fayetteville, was booked into the Washington County Jail and released on his own recognizance. His hearing is scheduled for October 19th. According to CNBC, Beyond Meat's Vice President of Manufacturing Operations, Jonathan Nelson, will oversee operations for the time being.
Wow.
And isn't that bizarre? His company is Beyond Meat, and he bit the guy's face.
What is that?
It's a vegan, it's a non-meat, it's a meat alternative. You know what I'm saying? It's like soy.
Oh, okay.
See? Oh my gosh.
Or, whatever. But
The guy sounds so familiar, Doug Ramsey. Oh my gosh.
Carolyn,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to change the subject, but I think you need to see this. Katrina King, she works at CBS News and she's a national producer. And
Wow.
she's in New York City.
Oh, really, Katrina? Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you the Katrina
That's the-
King? Did you send me a friend request on Facebook? Because I think I got a friend request from a Katrina King.
She's very insightful.
Do you
absolutely.
do you know Roseanne Coletti? Did you know Roseanne Coletti? I don't think she's on Channel 2 anymore. I think she moved but on to a different station. But did you know her? She used to be on CBS News. I don't know if you were
wasn't
back
gonna
at
change
that
the
time.
subject, but just thought you and her might need to talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, did you see what 80s girl said there, Karen?
No, what?
Somebody made fake Twitter accounts of her husband and other employees and bosses at his place of work and made bad tweets. Her husband doesn't even have a Twitter account. That's insane, 80s girl. Wow.
Wow.
There's a lot of evil people out there.
Yep.
Oh God, I've got the juiciest mandarin orange here. I need to mute.
You
I
have
can't
what?
eat. I've got a really juicy, you know the little mandarin oranges?
Yeah.
Clementines, or what do you call them over there?
Is silicone
Yeah.
Emily? You do know Roseanne? Oh, yeah, I know Roseanne too. She's been here in my house right here.
Small world,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's a very small world. That whole 6 degrees of separation thing is pretty accurate, I
I
think.
know, right?
Yes.
Now I want pumpkin pie.
And we had eggnog, but the kids drank it all.
Eggnog already?
Yeah, already. It's already out in the stores.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah.
Was it just, did you get regular eggnog or did you get, they make a lot of like flavored egg? Like,
They make a lot of specialty stuff
Yeah.
here, like the Hood Company is
Yeah,
really popular
yeah.
here, and they make an eggnog. It's pretty
you
good.
you have Hood Company over there too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. I can't believe it's 4 o'clock already. The night just went so fast.
Oh, I know.
We got into that Adnan thing, and I've got a special day tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to call it a night, guys. I've got to be on
What movie
the
on?
road. I've got to be on the road.
Can you put something on for us?
Do a little. I've got to do a couple of things on my computer. I don't know what there is. All right, we'll talk about. Oh, let me end this here. And all right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have a good night, okay? And Katrina, yeah, you can email me.
Night,
all right.
everyone.
All right. Good night,
Night,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.
Underwear.
God bless. Prayers for all that need them. See you tomorrow. Let me end this.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.